run as a Republican, right? Really not. Even after the vote, where she voted for the big busted biscuit bill, she told the House people, hey, you guys you shouldn't vote for this. Hello, you fucking just voted for it. What are you doing? So yeah, she's ridiculous. She's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Trump signed an executive order shortly after the bill was passed that could limit the awarding of tax credits for said projects, and Interior Secretary Doug Burgum issued a new directive requiring his personal approval for wind and solar projects on federal land and water, thus likely hobbling and even killing such efforts in Alaska. There you go. Back to regular programming.
Yeah, I remember seeing her being interviewed by somebody, and they confronted her, and
bare hands in the
I've never seen anybody respond or even look terrified. She knew exactly what she was doing, but why? I still don't know why.
Do you like?
I can't remember his name, but he was fucking crazy. So she didn't get the Republican nomination in the primary, so she ran as an independent against this guy. And people up here, some like Sarah Palin, but for the most, no. And he was a fucking clown. He was kicking reporters out of, like their little shit they do, rallies that they do. And so she did the writing that she wanted. Because of all the independents and Democrats are afraid that this other guy gets in, they vote for her. So Lisa tries to pretend. She did it during his first administration, and she's doing it now. It's nothing new to us. We understand exactly what she's doing. She gets independents and Democrats worked up like she's going to actually make a stake, and then she just pulls the rug out. It's like Lucy and Charlie in the football. This is what she does.
Oh, so she does tacos too. She
did say the ACA. That's part of why people think there might be a chance she'll do it again.
She'll continue.
But that's the one. She also voted against.
She did it with DeVos when she was.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about. Was it Kavanaugh? She voted against Kavanaugh. That's it.
Yeah, but do you guys think that that's just a strategy that she's playing? Like, I'm pretend that, like, I am somewhat not a full conservative and crazy. Am I done?
Katrina, were you here when I just explained what she does?
Breaking news. I got to come off of Martin Luther King screen. Okay, you guys see that guy that got beaten in Jacksonville?
Yeah, we spoke about that too.
You did? Did you guys play a clip on it?
Nah, what guy got beat?
Nah, we just played the video of the cops approaching the car and.
Oh, that motherfucker, yeah.
Let me see if
we just listened to it.
Okay, let me hear.
Well, we didn't listen to it, but we
the window. They always do a lot of work in the windows.
They said there was another incident that happened in Florida that's very similar to that one as well.
I don't see how this thing out.
Wow, okay.
Like, so quiet.
Let me see if I can play it for you guys. Viral video. Let me see if it's this one. All right, let me see if I can play it. And then we're gonna move over to Epstein and like I said, and then the baby thing will probably take us till midnight, and then I'm zonked. I gotta go to bed.
I need to tweak it out.
Hold on.
Song, what the fuck is that?
These things have commercials. You have to just go through it unless you pay for it. I don't pay for anything anymore. Okay, where's it going?
YouTube Premium is worth it, Lisa.
Huh?
It's worth the $29.
No, it's not.
I don't think it's education. My son made me do it. He signed up for it. He made me do it. Or he's neurodivergent. He's on the spectrum, so he hates interruptions.
Yeah.
So he made me sign up for it, but I really don't see the difference. The commercials.
Somebody get your figure.
Well, the difference is you get the YouTube music as well, and you can also add multiple
Just
accounts
someone
on it.
kiss
So
this nigga.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm not into it that much.
So I have it because I use it. My mother uses it, and that way she's able to look at like say YouTube channels in Haiti. But I have 20,000 different distractions.
So you think
Oh, that's different. That's different.
And also if you follow me like instructors on YouTube.
Put that on your tab, like you and me. Put that on your tab.
I'm not on YouTube unless I'm doing something you guys.
Put that on your tab.
Yeah, I'm not.
that's
We ain't gonna judge you, my nigga.
Let me get
I ain't gonna promote, my nigga.
don't know about homophobic. I don't like homophobic.
This is crazy. To me, it looks horrible.
Put that on your baby.
Wrong. And this is what my greatest fear.
Put that on your
Man, I just have so much fear. I'm just like, man, and then it's trying to drive, and they're at 10, 12 o'clock with their hands and jerking. And I'm like,
You ain't got damn meat.
I want to give you like your
I can't drive it because I cannot do this.
I ain't gonna lie.
So they're gonna probably get stopped because they look crazy. All right, so let me play this. Okay, so what? Let's talk about videos because I have made. I haven't seen it though. I was going to the kitchen to get some juice and come back to dinner, and that's what I did. And I saw when the cop bust his window out, and he was just sitting there. So I'm like, okay,
Put that on your baby, bro.
And then I come and look it up, and it says it's viral. So
Look, hey, look, you might be asking questions wrong. Ain't that motherfucker wrong?
nuts. Okay, here we go.
It was a gang situation, but everybody
Shocking interaction between local police officers and the driver. The reaction from an attorney as police launched an internal investigation. I think you might look downtown where the person was working and getting some relief on the way.
You gotta try to put that on my TV.
Video chat those sheriff's officers.
It's not hard to say.
Has now hired high-profile lawyers. We told you at 6:30 about the video that has started a JSO investigation. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office was the man who represented George Floyd's family is going to represent him.
Yeah, lawyers confirmed the man's name as William McNeil Jr. He said that he hired Ben Crump and Harry Daniels. For attorney ourselves, who said that the video tells the whole story, that the man may have a case against JSO. And we warn you, the video you're about to watch may be disturbing to some.
I will say that video seems very over the top in terms of the officer's behavior.
Chris Carson is one of thousands of people reacting tonight to a video that has started a JSO investigation. The video shows a February 19th traffic stop. According to William McNeil Jr., it all started when an officer pulled him over, claiming he needed to have his headlights on in cloudy weather. I said, so what I did wrong? He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. The driver says he questioned the stop and asked for a supervisor. That's when things escalated. Can you call your supervisor? Yeah, go for it. An officer breaks the car window and hits the driver in the face. The driver puts his hands up and asks, what's going on? But then another punch is thrown. Carson says the officer's use of force appears unjustified.
And it doesn't even sound like there was really any criminal behavior that was alleged on the part of the gentleman. I mean, it's a traffic stop. Happened hundreds of times a day.
The video does not end there. Officers then take him to the ground. The driver said he got a chipped tooth, 9 stitches in his lips, a concussion, and even had short-term memory loss after.
There definitely are circumstances where force can be warranted, but from everything that we're seeing in the context of this video, I don't really see it there. And frankly, it seems unnecessary.
JSO released a statement Sunday saying it has launched an internal investigation into the incident. Carson says the legal issues go beyond just policy violations. He believes civil action may be possible or even criminal charges.
We have seen cases over the years, I've handled cases where law enforcement officers are actually charged with crimes for things that they did in the course of their police work. That is something, albeit it's rare, but it certainly legally can happen.
We did look to see if McNeil was facing charges. A man with the same name arrested that day pleaded guilty to driving with a suspended license and resisting an officer. And he also was charged with marijuana possession, not having his headlights on, nor his seatbelt. All the coverage you can count on. Reporting live in Jacksonville, I'm Nicholas Brooks. Action News.
Okay, so that's what happened, and you guys have to go look at it. So Haitian, so tell me what happened that you think he did wrong.
So the version I heard with the audio was him kind of going back with the forth with the officer, right? And about the headlights. And he said to the officer that, you know, everybody, like there's a bunch of other people who don't have it on as well, right? So when he's telling them that's illegal, he's asking them at that point, do you have the law? Can you show me the law? Who the fuck is going to show you the law on the side of the road? That's for court. And the cop who hit him 100% was fucking wrong was the opposite cop. And when we grabbed him out, it ended up being 3 officers. It was 2 white cops and a black officer above him, hovering over him, right? But my point is, what were we going to win at that point? Nothing. Take the fucking ticket and go to court.
That's it. So yeah, it seemed like he was trying to, his actions provoked, do you think, or do you think that he's at fault for the cop to escalate? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's for example, when I get pulled over, I pull over, I make sure my radio's off, I roll down, well, not roll, but hit all my windows, so all my windows are down, right? Hands are visible. So that's what we need to be teaching, like you said, our young men, because we all can have tempers, but at the end of the day, the cops they're gonna fucking, you know, you have to go deal with the bullshit. And at the end of the day, yes, he was wrong. His suspended license, if he had the weed on him, and his fucking shit wasn't on. So just fucking take the ticket and keep it moving. You probably would have got off in court anyway. That's my point.
So, go ahead.
No, one thing I said it earlier, but it sounded to me that when the video starts, the cop that he was speaking to was not there when he first talked to the other cops. So there was already a delay. He was talking to him and telling him what happened. And then when that officer was like, well, he was like, but it wasn't raining. And the officer was like, well, either way, you know what I mean? You still have to pull over because it doesn't matter if it's raining or not. And then he was like, well, can you show me the law? And he's like, yeah, when you get out the car, right? And then he was like, well, can I see a supervisor? So it's almost like you're now on the third delay, right? Because you really just don't want to get out the car. And I'm definitely not, blaming the victim, but I see what Haitian is saying, and he's definitely going to win the lawsuit against the police department for the abuse. But when I watched the video, I thought for a second that he might be a Moor, because that's the type of shit that they do. They'll just like delay because they feel like you don't have any jurisdiction over them at all.
Yeah, but he didn't. I saw the.
He didn't. No, he didn't. It put me in the mind. Like I was like, I wonder. But then he didn't say anything more. So I let it go. But that's what it reminded me of, because it was clear that he was on the second officer that arrived, and I thought that he might be talking to the supervisor. But then when he asked to see the supervisor, I realized that the person he was talking to wasn't the supervisor.
Can I give an alternate view? So I saw that video this morning, and so thank God he had his own dash cam, because the 2.5 minute video that I saw from the sheriff's department did not capture all of that conversation. My alternate view would be some, especially in the state of Florida. And I hear what you're saying, Haitian, but I know for a fact I've heard black men say, hey, listen, and they know they disappear evidence, they lie, they cover for each other. They're afraid also that if they come out, I'm just offering another view. Yeah. I hear what you're saying, and I get afraid that they feel safer in their car than if they get out, especially if they have something that they're not supposed to have on them, that they're going to be deep sixed or really, really beat up or occurred or what have you. So I see both sides, and I think that's just why, listen, you riding in Florida, you best be having a dash cam. I'll leave your phone recording.
Absolutely.
Leave your phone recording.
Absolutely. But with that though, right? If that's the sentiment that
I was gonna stand to go, but you said a couple things. You said a couple things. I'm like, I'm gonna say something real quick because and this is from the viewpoint of a black male, a big black male that's dealt with a lot of cops, and I know how they move. LAPD is no joke. I don't know what y'all know about LAPD, but they get down. There was definitely physical abuse. During that interaction. No question about it. However, with that being said, right, they didn't need to punch him or do none of that shit. And it's critical that as black males, we really intricately understand the law, right? And the second that you're driving on a suspended license, that is an arrestable offense, right?
Yep.
It's an arrestable offense. You don't get the same leeway as the person that's getting a ticket for speeding that can ask for the supervisor. Once you're committing an arrestable offense and they ask you to exit the vehicle, you have to comply. You have to exit the vehicle, or they can use, air quotes, reasonable force to extract you from said vehicle, right? Now, what they did, in my opinion, as far as reasonable force goes, was unreasonable and excessive. However, you gave them the right to put hands on you when you did not comply in the commission of a crime. I know you guys don't think I'm not going to say you guys, I know a lot of people don't think it's a crime, but in Florida, driving on a suspended license is a serious crime in their eyes.
Most states. I think all states.
Yeah, but they don't have a light. They open-handed slapped him in the car.
Let me finish, please. Let me finish. I've seen the video multiple times. I already said they should not have open-handed slapped him, and they also punched him after.
And then they punched him when he came out.
Right.
Yes.
All that's excessive. We're not. That's nothing to debate. That's undebatable, irrefutable. I agree with you 1,000%. But when he's refusing to get, they don't feel comfortable when they're driving with weed on a suspended license. I guess most people wouldn't feel comfortable if you're driving with weed on a suspended license. But you know what? If you don't do those actions, they can't make you exit the vehicle. So there is some.
Did they tell him he was suspended?
Yes.
Did they tell him his license was suspended?
Yes.
Correct. So that's the reason they broke the windows.
And I think some people.
Then you step out the car.
Do you follow what I'm saying, Haitian? You know, bro, we're on the same page. I think some people are missing in the audience, right, in a sense, right, of what I'm trying to get at. I'm not saying tap dance with the police officers. First of all, let's start off with this. Now, whatever, that's a whole other story. But my point is, we're dealing with a Trump administration who wants to give officers 100% fucking immunity. So I'm not going to have my son arguing a fucking road with a police officer over a fucking little bullshit traffic ticket, right? Because Trump is going to give that officer immunity. And you know what's going to happen to Dad? Dad's going to use his military skills for blowing shit up and blow up the whole fucking family's households. Okay, so at the end of the day, that's my point of be smart of when you get pulled over by cops.
Yeah, I think the men are saying that the officers are 100% wrong, but they're also holding the driver accountable, and they're saying that you have to comply. That's what it is.
Yeah, especially when you're a young kid. Like, don't look at some shit you saw on YouTube, and then now you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna practice now with two dickhead officers that one of them I was already arguing with for who knows how long, and I'm now speaking to his partner. He's now getting more mad because he's not complying to, I'm not doing what he wanted me to say, and now his partner's telling me, fuck off too. Now I want a supervisor. And then he's letting me get in the car. Now I'm telling him, well, can you show me the law?
Well,
a lot of officers don't even know the fucking law, what the laws are.
No, they don't.
Hey, can I ask a question?
But they should know the law.
They definitely should know that.
What they should know is it's not going to save your ass when you're on the side of the road with a bullet in your head. So that's the point of not the debate.
Yeah, now you got three motherfuckers on top of you on the floor. Now you can't breathe. Like, come on, guys. Yeah. And we're speaking on what you guys are going to tell your sons. That's what we're speaking on.
Here's the thing. I wanted to ask Haitian. Here's the thing. I'm actually having the same disagreement with my husband, right? My husband says just comply. Whatever, even if they're breaking your rights, even if they're completely going against all of your civil liberties, just complying, because you're gonna get out, you're gonna come home that day and not with a bullet in your head. Me, on the other hand, I go, why would you comply to an illegal order?
Katrina, did you just hear what you just said?
Like, this shit is crazy, man.
Katrina, but did you just hear what you just said? You said your husband told you that he should comply so he doesn't get a bullet in your head, and you disagree with that. Do you know the opposite of that conversation is don't comply and get a bullet in your head, stand up for yourself? That doesn't...
I'm sorry, I do sound ignorant right now. And yes, I've never experienced anything like that in my life. Cops are always super fucking nice to me. As a matter of fact, I've never...
No, but it's not about you being ignorant. I'm just telling you just literally what you're saying right now on the stage. You literally just said you disagree with a kid getting a bullet in his head.
That's not what she's saying.
No, what I'm saying...
That's exactly what she's saying.
No. I guess, okay, so I'm going to clear myself up. What I'm saying that instead of just continue complying, right? I'm not saying don't do whatever you need to do to survive. But instead of just saying just comply to the system, at the same time, we need to fight and change the system.
So, right.
Because
But that's not the time to try to change the system when you're getting pulled over. What are we talking about right now?
And let me respond to that real quick also.
I wasn't saying in that moment change the system. I'm just saying that, that's like that's oppression. You're
40 minutes.
You keep having oppression. People they go, oh, just comply, and you're gonna be okay. But they're getting worse and worse. So we have to fight at the same time.
Yeah, no, we don't disagree. I don't think no one disagrees with you there.
Katrina.
Go ahead, Judy. I was going to say, no one disagrees. But to Mel's point, it can't happen in that moment. Because the bottom line is, what happened was clear cut. I think Dr. Goddess said it simply. And Haitian Gemini, they overabused their power, clear. The punching of the face, I mean, all that was excessive. It didn't, if they would have literally just, if he didn't open his window, fine. You had to bust the window. None of us would have been tripping about that. But then you punch him in the face. We are tripping about that because all they had to do was bust the window, take his seatbelt off, pull them out, and, put them on the ground. Not all that. The rest of it, that's cops. So the problem is we can't take the chance telling young people to fight it right there at the stop. We have to fight it, in the courts, whatever, wherever else tactics people feel they need to use. That, and I understand that shit has been working, they're getting worse, but I guarantee you the answer isn't at the stop.
I just want to make myself clear. I was not saying at the stop.
I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I know that's not who you are, but it almost comes off like, you're scared. I'm not a docile person. It's in my blood to fight. But at the end of the day, you gotta be smart about shit. And again, we're having a conversation of what we were saying to a young man, who a police officer. So they're not necessarily gonna talk to me. They're gonna talk to my 18-year-old fucking son who has locks.
The only thing
again, you want your children to have the least amount of fucking contact with the police officers. That's it.
You do. But let me just say something real quick, because when we just say that just comply thing, I can tell y'all my story. It's different. The only issue is sometimes, and this situation might not quite be that, but when everybody just says just comply, sometimes you don't even understand what's going on. And you're just like, everybody's just go limp when they grab you. They rushed me, and I didn't even know they were talking to me. Because I didn't do nothing wrong. And so a person that was watching me kind of said, just comply. And I was like, bro, to who? They didn't identify themselves. So you might see a video, and this video is a little different because he's already interacting. But when people are always just saying, just comply. Yeah, but that's not, if somebody just grabs you on the street,
that's not.
And you don't understand, like, wait, just tell me what's going on, fam. Like, I don't even know who you are. Just comply is not always just going to fix everything, because sometimes all you're trying to do is figure out what's going on.
So check this out, y'all. Dragon is on the stage, and he's a lawyer, so maybe he has better insight on what would happen.
Yeah, but let me just respond to Monty. So that's not what I'm saying. We're talking about that particular situation, not like ICE coming to grab you in the street and you're just like, okay, I'm getting a vehicle with you. Because if you hear me, between the ICE, there's a whole...
How the hell we get to ICE?
We're all over.
So wait 1 second.
So Dragon is on the stage. So why don't y'all let
Dragon,
him
do
have
you
a
want to say
conversation?
anything?
Hey y'all. So I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and I'm a white man. It's obvious. And my father was a lawyer, and he had a little bit of political bias. But I tell you what he told me. He said, Terry, never ever fight with a police officer unless you're in front of a judge. But it was really good advice. And to that, I've added to my sons, never fight with a judge unless you're in front of an appellate judge. So this is hard to stomach, okay? It's hard to swallow because some of these cops are just, it's the time to fight. And I sue police officers, okay? And they got lots and lots of, legal immunities, and Trump's talking about even beefing those up. It's bad, and that should not be allowed. But please, especially to the black folk who were mostly in the room, do not argue with a police officer unless you're in front of a judge. That's all I can urge you to do.
One thing I do want to say is you want to make sure you state your rights. You let them know that you understand your rights. You document the situation to the best of your ability, right? But you don't physically resist and you remain compliant. A lot of things you want to articulate, that just for clarity, because hopefully you're recording and documenting. And they do have different word commands you can give to Siri that will automatically darken your phone, turn on your recording, and start documenting instantly. And the cop can't even tell you're documenting. And then you can articulate your case, not just for him, but for your documentation that you're prepping at that moment. But in that moment, you always want to be compliant. You can catch them later. You get a good attorney. You go plead your case in court. You've documented appropriately. But go ahead and make sure you document the situation. Definitely say your rights. You know, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. State that. But you don't need to be combative. The second you become combative, you're going to lose that, because that's not just a police officer. That's a man with a gun, right, on the side of the road. Right?
Can I elaborate real fast?
1 second.
We got to also.
And
mom finished talking.
And you always want to consider that. And I'm going to give y'all a quick example. One time I was speeding. I was coming back from Vegas to LA. And that trip was very boring. And a lot of the times, just to be blunt with you guys, I would do 90 all the way back, which is not smart. And I don't advocate for anybody to do that stupid shit. But I do it, right? And I was on the back road, which is about it. I'm speeding my ass off on this back road. And it's just me and him. I look in my rearview mirror. I see the brake lights. Okay, he coming. He U-turned, hit his lights. I'm not even going to make him chase me. I pulled over to the side of the road. I'm with a friend of mine. We both big guys. We're on the side of the road. Turn on the headlights. I mean, not the headlights, but the cabin lights, so he can see inside of the vehicle when he is approaching the vehicle. Behind me, he asked me, as he's approaching the car, he is looking like he wants to shoot. Like, I have no weapons on me, nothing, right? I'm just coming back from Vegas. And as he's approaching the vehicle, I'm nervous as fuck. Like, shit, this dude, like, he's reaching right now, and I don't have nothing. And he goes, I want to let you know my gun's unholstered. That's his first words to us, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I don't got a weapon in the vehicle. So at this point, I'm telling my friend next to me, hey, go ahead and put your hands on the dashboard. I got my hands on the steering wheel, and that's where we at with it, And he's like, do you got your license? I'm like, yeah, but I'm not reaching for it. You just told me you got your gun unholstered. And he goes, do you know I pulled you over? I go, I was speeding. He goes, yeah, you were. I go, I know. And he goes, okay, well, do you have your license? I'm looking around. I'm like, you know what? If you want to search the car, feel free to search the car. And I know I don't have to grant you that right, but you can search the car. We don't got shit, bro. We're not doing shit, bro. I was speeding, I got it. And he goes, you know what? Follow this light. And I follow the light around. And he goes, just tell me your information. So I give him my information, and he backs off. And the way he's backing off, he never turns his back on us. And I get it. We're on a lonely road, and it's just him. He wasn't with a partner, and I am with a partner, right? So he goes back to his car, and he comes back, and he goes, you know what? Drive slow, have a good night. Spun off. He didn't want that interaction because he was nervous by the size of us. But I could have reacted in a lot different way. Like, fuck you, you got, right? There's no reason to be combative. You need to understand how to handle these situations and cut your pride sometimes. Right?
I'm not ever giving permission to search my interior ever. I'm never yelling
them that way.
Let me
Wait, LeVon, it's hard to hear you.
Yeah.
Wait, one second, you guys. So I just wanted to go back to, I think it was either Haitian or Gemini that said, don't let watching the internet get you caught up, right? And so this dude, he definitely, has been watching the internet shit. Okay. And I definitely believe that he was watching like the Moors, because that's all they fucking do is resist the police and talk about their fucking sovereignty. Now, he didn't mention sovereignty, but he knew enough to say, I want to speak to your supervisor. You see what I'm saying? And remember, he was on the second police officer. He had already told the other police officers, the first ones who told him to, pull over, open it, roll down his window, et cetera, et cetera. And he was standing up for his rights, right? So, like, you could do that. But when the other officer comes and you tell the other officer, well, he told me, that he training or not, right? And you see, he skipped right over that. He acted like he didn't hear the officer say that, but that is what the officer said. And then he's, like Haitian said, then he's like, well, can I see the law? So that's, you're now like on your third delay. And then after that, you're like, well, can I speak to your supervisor? You're now on your fourth delay. So I just, everybody should just be kind of clear about, how this went down, because, to me, this dude, I mean, again, we already said nobody deserves the abuse, and he's definitely going to win the lawsuit, okay? But I just hate to see black men watch that internet shit, you know what I mean? And you knew enough to ask for a supervisor and to ask for another officer or whatever, but you don't know enough to, save your own life and not, have a situation like they had.
And I'm also a black man who's now an actual adult male with a child. I'm also a black male who, at my teens, was on probation and fucked with police and got fucked with all the time. So I'm not saying it as the police are right or not. I'm saying this is to fucking survive and make it past 21.
There's nothing wrong with asking for a supervisor. There's nothing wrong with asking for a supervisor. Wait. I agree you should have complied. And even while complying, there's nothing wrong with asking for a supervisor. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm going to complain because I will never grant permission for the to search my car and let the car ever. I don't care about anything in there. You're not going to get most of the search. Okay.
It's hard to hear you, LeVon.
I said they plan stuff when they search your car, so I will never give permission to search my car unless it's one. Who's the guy who is trying to speak?
Yeah, Grind been trying to get in for a minute.
Too, because we're in the military. You got to give them guns and stuff. And those same guys, when they graduated, they went off to try to find life. Now, whatever life was, it could be whatever, but they needed to be able to pay their bills. So back a while ago, that's why I say Ephesians 6:12, wicked people high places. Wicked evil is in high places. Realize that if I lower the qualifications of cops, then I can make room for those retarded and dumbed down cops to come in and work. And one thing about a dumbed down person, they're gonna make mistakes because they're dumb. We can all agree on that. They're not the brightest. So now you put them in a hostile situation and you give them a gun and then you tell them to go out there and take control. So now you something. As a black man, I don't want to challenge that, knowing the mindset of some of these cops is not that bright. So I'm gonna tell my kid, if you want to make a home safe, which I do tell them, if you want to make a home safe, just comply, man. And whatever charge you can probably get, let us fight it in the courtroom. But if you try to fight it right there, you never know if you're dealing with a dumbed down cop. And it's a lot of them, because most police department right now is struggling to hire people. And people that are struggling to hire people, they hire less qualified people. So if you want to gamble with your life.
Short, they're saying this morning 3,000 officers, so they have lowered the requirements.
Yeah, it's gonna be real police academy, like the movie Police Academy. They're gonna hire some character cop, and now you got to go out there and try to deal with them.
Lisa, the link I put on top is the Jacksonville Sheriff's
officers speaking on the incident. It's a live feed. I'm not sure if you could find it on YouTube, but he just spoke 25 minutes ago.
Oh my God. Okay, so can you play that? I'm doing something with my hair.
Can I go after you play it?
Or you can go before, because he has to get it together.
So, you know, I understand some of these conversations, and I get the comply conversation. I think what bothers me sometimes is that even when we comply, sometimes it just is never enough. And I think that's the part that bothers me that we're not discussing, because I've been listening to this conversation for the last 20 minutes, and all I've heard is comply, comply, comply. So I complied with an officer as a soldier, a young soldier. This officer in Atlanta, Georgia, had the audacity to tell me I had no business driving a nice car, and proceeded to call me a nigger, right, at a traffic stop that he pulled me over for, because you know what he told me? He told me that I merged into the left lane too quickly. I literally was making a left turn into the left lane and merged in it as soon as the opening for the left lane turned. So it didn't even, what you call it, I gave him my license, I gave him my registration, I said nothing to the officer. I complied with everything he said until he started calling me a nigger. And I said, sir, all that's unnecessary, right? Can I get a supervisor here? He decided that he wasn't going to get a supervisor, so he pulled me out of my car, right, slapped cuffs on me, and sat me down. And wanted to proceed to keep calling me a nigger and all kinds of niggers, and because now they're like, how are we going to drum this one up? So now they take me over to the county area. I ain't never been to jail before in my life, ever. I go over there. I am nervous because I'm like, what the heck? They run my background check and find out that I'm not the one that they should have been fooling with. I end up having to pay $100 to bond out and didn't make my way back to that area again for another 20 years. So even when you comply sometimes, it really don't make a damn difference. In this country, when you black and they want to do some shit to you, they're going to do it. I'm not telling you shouldn't comply. What I am saying is at the end of the day, it's not always about compliance. I'm going to go.
Right, so I agree with you. Wait, hold on. Rez, I agree with you 110%, right? But are you sure you was in the city of Atlanta?
I was in Cobb County.
You was in Cobb County. Yeah, that made more sense. I'm like,
there you go.
Sure.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
But Rez, can I just say this? You did, at the end of the day, from the story that I heard, you did comply. And I think the point everyone on this stage is making is you complied and you went home. I think that's the point of the message. It's not when you don't comply that they're somehow just going to not violate any of your rights. I don't think no one on this stage said that. I think the main message is when you choose not to comply, you may not end up going home. I think that's the point of it. But your rights may still be violated. Very well.
But that's my problem. Your rights are still being violated because you think it was okay for an officer to keep calling me a nigga.
Oh no, definitely not. No, right, that's what I'm saying. But so you went home though.
Okay, but unfortunately, some of these police officers push your buttons, and I'm not saying it's right at all. But then when I'm asking you for a supervisor, which is my right to have, and I'm telling you, you cannot search my car because I know what a legal search and seizure is. I'm very clear on what the Constitution says. I have to give you permission in order for you today go and search my car. You still want to do what you want to do. And that's problematic on a lot of levels.
Yeah, look, I don't
Here's the thing.
Right.
Can I just for 1 second?
What you just described is a good case, Rez. A very good case. And no one's saying that anybody should roll over on this stuff. It's just pick your spot and saying document. Absolutely. What do they look like? Do they wear a wedding ring? What do their shoes look like? And get your phone out and start recording. And if they, demand you stop, you don't necessarily have to in many states. In my state, we don't have to stop recording them. So, we all have, the recording devices now, so we can have our own cameras and our own recordings. So this, and let me say this, okay? I mean, this is a hard job. I mean, it is. I mean, you're almost like not going to win either way, but it does not excuse abuse of anybody, and nobody should have to take that. And I'm telling you, there are enough good lawyers around to take cases like this on contingent fee and hold those people to account. And a final thought, okay? Many states have what are called tort claim notices, okay? The state I live in is one of them. If you have a bad situation with a police officer like this, you have to write them within 180 days. Write the city, write the county, and say, I just had this incident. This is my tort claim notice. Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to bring the suit. So there's a lot you can do, but I agree with you too. You don't just say, oh yeah, you want to search my car? Fine. No, it's like, well, what's your probable cause for searching my car? What is it that gives, you believe a right to search my car? You don't be bossy. You don't act like a know-it-all, but you just ask them nice questions. If they can't answer them, then they're going to be in trouble. But do not argue with these people on the street.
With dragons.
Sorry, say something real quick to Rez, please, really quickly. Rez, I 100% agree with you. And the reason why me and my husband sometimes have that discussion, and I disagree with him, is I understand that, yes, you need to comply in the moment. But you know what? How many instances have there been when it's an autistic child or an autistic teenager? Is where cops have either physically assaulted or shot an autistic individual who's nonverbal, right? And like Dragon is saying, take it to court, take it to court. Motherfuckers don't get what they deserve. They don't get charged with murder. They get put on desk duty, or they resign and they go to another state and they fucking work in another state because their record doesn't follow them. So instead of saying, take it to court, that shit is already not working. We need to change the laws. And that's what I'm saying, that we need to, fighting, and not just, I'm not saying in the moment, physically fighting with them, but I just feel like this comply.
That's a good point, Katrina. That's a good point that you made, Katrina.
No, it's not.
You're right. It is, because you think about it. It was a boy down here. It was a boy down here in Georgia that was suffering from a mental health episode, and he got killed. Like the lady that got shot in the head on camera, mental health.
Yeah, Sonia Massey.
So it's hard to say
that he was having a mental health.
How many of y'all gonna talk over Brooklyn? Go ahead, Brooklyn.
It's okay. It's all right, because they was just helping me out. But it's hard to just comply all the time. It's not that easy. And I know that's what we think. We just do everything right. But what if you're having a mental health episode, or anything to happen, and they deem it as you're being aggressive, and then bam, you're dead, or you're beat up real bad, or you know what I'm saying? The laws do need to change. They got to do something about it. But what I'm afraid of is the fact that this administration, you have a president and governors and all of the kind that they're for and okay with this type of police brutality. That's what we're gonna have a problem.
You can't.
I just want to ask Dragon.
What's the question?
Oh, okay. My question is, yes, you did do everything right? And yes, you got what you were not supposed to get from that. But why didn't you press any charges or do anything after the whole incident? Because for me personally, I'm not going to give anybody an excuse to shoot me for any reason. I will comply and let him go as much as I want. We can get to court and then we'll fight it out later.
Okay, but this was 1996. I was a young girl in my 20s. And in 1996, during that time, one, there was no videotape evidence anywhere. Who the hell was going to believe the black girl just because I was in the military? Didn't mean shit to nobody back then. You do know the bullshit that I dealt with just being in uniform alone? I'm a Desert Storm veteran. Okay, I'm an OIF veteran. I'm an OEF veteran. Do you think people give a shit about what I did or didn't do? They only want to give a shit when it's good for them. But at the end of the day, I didn't have options back then. There are options now, and I'm not saying they aren't. But I'm just gonna say, Uncle, today, here's what happened. Breonna Taylor's aunt has been arrested. You know why? Because she was upset in the court that they literally gave one of the officers who shot and killed this girl in her house for a no-knock warrant that didn't have shit to do with her, and then they had the wrong address on top of it, right? They've given him 1 day in jail is what this current DOJ administration asked, or time served. And this girl is gone.
serious?
Yes, I'm dead serious.
100% serious.
See, and this is the shit that I'm talking about. And hold on, this is the shit that I be talking about on these stages where we are so oblivious to some of the things that are really happening, because it's like we talk about compliance. This girl was in her house. She was minding her damn business. She was shot.
Let her finish, and then you go after Uncle. No, I was going to ask a question. Let me just complete. I don't know who Klaus is, but why is he making that kind of comment in the chat? I just don't know. I'll go in the chat. I'll let her finish, and then I'll deal with it in the chat. Thank you.
Got it. I'm saying to you, Uncle,
I dealt with it already.
That sometimes you don't know what your options are and you don't know what your rights are, especially some young folks. Now, do I think that it's changed a little bit? Yes, people know their rights a little bit better. But at the end of the day, the problem is still we have this blanket immunity for police officers, which is where the law needs to change at the end of the day. And it's not going to happen under this administration. And until police officers are held accountable, until, like Homegirl said, and I agree with her, they're not allowed to change after they've had, they've had internal investigations, they've been found guilty of all kinds of stuff internally in other departments, and then they just go from one state to another because they keep switching departments, but they're still doing the same shit. At some juncture, that has to stop. And this is where we need to get the legislature involved and to fix the laws. Now,
hey, okay, real quick, I had a question. Hold on. I had a question. I had a question for Dragons real quick.
Hey, real quick, though, 1 second, real quick. I have a friend that's a police officer. I'm gonna bring him on to give some insight from a police officer's point of view on how we should handle these situations and what his point of view is on the situation. Y'all free to ask him whatever questions y'all like, but be respectful because this is a friend of mine. He's a solid dude. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna bring him on the stage in just a second here.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Wait, I get in there? Yeah. Hold on, I got a question too for Dragons.
All right, Monty, hold.
Yeah, go.
We have Monty.
How are you oblivious if you say and comply?
Are you talking to me?
No, to Russ.
what about it? What did you ask me?
How are you oblivious if you say something? If you say to comply, you're oblivious.
What are you talking about? I don't understand.
You just said before people on the stage that are oblivious, some people comply.
I said there are some people. I'm not speaking for everybody. I said there are some people that are oblivious to what the law is and what they can and cannot say. That's what I said, because he asked me about suing, and I said I was oblivious at that time. I didn't know anything about suing. That's what I was discussing.
Yeah, I mean, you explained it was 1996, but one really quick thing is police officers have what's called qualified immunity. Qualified immunity. It's not blanket. That's what Trump wants to do. He wants to change it to unqualified. Okay?
Yes.
You got to be, we got to be on the ball, man. We got to fight that. That's horrible. I mean, it's horrible. And again, I don't want to say police are always wrong. They're not. Hopefully, sounds like. But then he starts with explicit racial epithets, like calling you the N-word. No. That automatically triggers a federal claim called 1983. Okay? And that is pretty powerful. But
Dragon, that is the issue. You're saying it is a civil.
Hey, Katrina, can you not jump the line? Hold on, Katrina. We're not jumping the line. Thank you. Go ahead, Dragons.
What these municipalities care about a lot of times is money. Let's face it. And, once they get tagged again and again, they will change their behavior. And the place to fight the damn killed. Now, I'm not saying that, at a certain point, but it ain't now until, everybody is holding hands and, got each other's backs. We're not going to fight this thing on the street. It is not a thing to do to try to fight this on the street one at a time. I'll put it that way.
Okay, Dragons, I just wanted to ask you this, man.
Dragons, real quick.
Can I ask him this real quick?
Hey, Monty, hold on for 1 second, man. Like, I have my friend here, and I wanted to give him a chance to speak because I want to be respectful of his time. He's taking some time out of his day to give us a police officer's point of view. So if y'all want direct questions, I think it'd be better to speak to someone that's actually a police officer right now and acting in that capacity.
I have a question. I don't know if there's a question, Q, but whenever there's a chance, Gemini, do you have a question?
Okay, well, first, I would like him to kind of give his thoughts on the video that even led to this discussion, because I forwarded it to him so he can give a police officer's point.
All right, so y'all can hear me? We can hear you. Yeah. You're good.
Yeah.
Okay, so with a traffic stop of the vehicle, and it's a safety thing, because if I can't get you out of the vehicle and I'm parked in the vehicle behind you, a lot of people's rear glasses are tinted. Mine is. My glass is tinted to 0.5% on my personal vehicle. It's hard for me to drive at night, honestly. But it's for my safety that I have my glass tinted because of the things that I carry in my truck. And a lot of it is owned by the state. I don't have many personal weapons, but I do have a lot of the weapons in my truck that are owned by the state. I work for the state. So you can order somebody out of a vehicle if you stop. It's legal. They told him it was a headlight issue. He said that there were other people without headlights. That's fine. After we deal with you, we'll go deal with them too. The problem came in with the punch. The breaking of the glass isn't even save themselves some trouble because it's not easy to break car windows, and it escalates things a lot. If you could if the car is in park and the doors aren't locked, open the door, it's dead wrong. Period. There's nobody that'll look at that video, police officer or not, and not say that punch was all ego. I'm the police. I'm here telling you what to do, and you're not doing it. I'm highly upset now. That's my take on it. The punch was 100% ego driven, and it was a power trip, and it's 100% wrong. So, I mean, that young man is going to collect a check, a nice one.
Excuse me, can I ask you a friend a question?
Yeah, ask him a question.
I'm sorry, I don't want to hold nobody's time. That won't take long. I wanted to say, as a police officer, right, trying to see it from your perspective. Okay, in this particular instance, his headlights were supposed to be on, but like the gentleman said, it was light out. As we could see, the video was light out. So, as a police officer, most of the time when you pull over a person in this instance, you run a check on their license plates, right? So, if the license plate comes back clean, and you got a situation that transpired up until where we seen him punch through the window and the kid, why couldn't he write a ticket out, put the ticket on the windshield, and walk off? It wasn't that serious to the point where it had to be even escalated to that fact. Now, if it was a case where the young man was speeding and he was, he made a illegal turn or something like that, I understand. I could rationalize that, but up until he broke the window and they punched him in the face. But this didn't even have to go that far.
Exactly. One thing. Before he answers, I do want to say this. Don't forget, he was driving on a suspended license. That takes it out of the realm of the headlights. That's an arrestable offense.
Okay, to my knowledge, I didn't know that part of the video.
That's the problem. Showing his hands, does the officer, even though it's a legal traffic stop, does the officer have the right to demand he gets out of the car, even though you can
Can't tell him and remove him from the car. It's a legal traffic stop. The officer can tell him if he doesn't comply with being told to get out the car, the officer can remove him 100%. So another thing, people have to be careful with what they see on videos. You see the video, you can see the officer. So I don't know how dark the windows were tinted. And then as for it was daytime, our statute, I'm in Louisiana, our statute reads dusk till dawn. You need headlights. It's dusk right now. I could still see probably 2 miles down the road, but I can't point to the sun in there.
Yeah, I think that it was like clearly, like, I mean, the officer that broke the glass, I mean, he completely escalated the situation unnecessarily. Like, the other officer was at his passenger window having a casual conversation with him. Things didn't get to a heightened level. Maybe what I see
is like, where y'all suspended and we
that's his charges. That's what he's being charged with.
Yeah, but the police report lied and said the young man had a knife in his hand.
The video is 2 minutes. You don't think they won that traffic stop for only 2 minutes? What happened before?
It was because.
How long is the video?
It's like 2 minutes. But the cop said in the video.
Hold up. Listen. Have you ever been stopped by the police?
Yes, several times.
Okay, did that stop last only 2 minutes?
No.
Yeah, but the sheriff released the body cam, and it was 2 minutes and 36 seconds released by the sheriff.
And in the report, it says that he brandished a knife, and that's why the police officers broke the window. So that is weird.
That doesn't even make sense.
Understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying they couldn't see through the window. I'm saying it's possible that they couldn't see it.
But you're saying in the police report it says that he had a knife. So how is it that you saw a silhouette of him? Hold on, sir. You saw the silhouette of him. You supposedly saw a knife, but you broke the window. And if you see the video, you could see this young man when he puts his hands up in the air, and they asked him to put his hands in the air, he had nothing in his hand. There was no knife. They lied in the damn police report. So it makes the cops' conversation even worse, because now you guys are complicit in telling a damn lie.
I like that.
But real quick, like, I don't even.
Hey, can you play that?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, hold on one second, bro. Haitian, can you play what's up top?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, give me a second. Let me set it up.
All right. While he's setting it up, the fact that they put that in the police report don't make any sense, because in what police academy are they training them to go hands on when a suspect is in possession of a knife?
Yeah, the body cam.
You can always go lower. With the use of force continuum, you can always go lower.
Say it again.
You can go with the use of force continuum. You can always go lower than the force needed. A knife justifies deadly force, correct? So anything below deadly force is fair.
No, I'm not saying that it would. I'm not saying it wouldn't be justified. I'm not saying it wouldn't be justified. I'm saying it's not logical. Like in any other scenario, in any other scenario, officer has responsibility to protect their own life.
Hold up, he's responded. Go ahead.
I've done it personally. A kid pulled a knife on me. We were in the hallway, and I was at the end of the hallway. He pulled a knife on me. I cornered in the hallway. I punched him. I've done it personally. People, we in the realm of guns right now. Nobody fears a knife like that.
Can I say what the body cam showed? The sheriff released the body cam, and it stated that the guy, two other cop cars pulled up, sirens blazing. There was a cop on his passenger side, and he said, "I'm going to break the window." The cop on the opposite window said, "What?" And then he said, "I'm going to break the window." And then the cop said, "Go for it." Never in that conversation was anything mentioned about seeing a knife or any type of weapon. And that's released from the sheriff 2 minutes, 36 seconds by the minute.
And wouldn't that be better? There is officer safety, Like to Levon's point, I think if there was any mention or sighting of a knife, they might have gotten this about. They still have to secure it, and they still have to remove him from the vehicle. It's very unusual that they wouldn't mention that. You would think the knife would be all over the press right now, and then certainly reiterated by the body cam. But it's the stories aren't matching.
You would think you would.
Obviously, there always is a anomaly where isn't the case, but I mean, at what point is an officer not going to put their own safety first before apprehending a suspect, especially when nobody, like the public's not in danger in that situation?
I'm sorry, can I just ask something really quickly? Sir, thank you for your job and everything, and I appreciate the good police officers. And you are looking at this with a viewpoint of a law-abiding police officer who is doing their job correctly. But
no, I didn't see daytime running lights. I said headlights. Daytime running lights and headlights are two totally different things.
Yes. But again, it's a lot of cops would use that to racially profile, right? They would not pull me, a white woman, over for that, but they would use that as an excuse for racial profiling. And I think we can all agree to that exists. So when you say it is lawful traffic stop, yes, it is lawful traffic stop, but again, there could be racially profiling. And another thing I wanted to ask you is when a police officer is totally not doing their job, right? And that is my big fear about when people say comply. I have a child with disability. I have a child who is autistic. And I have seen police officers do some really brutal stuff. And I want my child to come home alive. So even if he, quote unquote, comply, he just can't comply to certain things. If he's nonverbal, he can't respond. And I guess the point is to what degree do we allow officers to kind of get away with this stuff, because the punishment right now is civil, and it's not really. It's usually you sue the police department. It's a civil suit. Yes, you get millions of dollars, whatever. But that cop is not. You didn't get full justice. The cop could still go to another state and work in another state and continue discriminating and breaking the law. And I think that is the big thing when people see videos like that it's just there's too much leeway for those cops who break the law to continue doing what they're doing under the disguise of it was a legal traffic stop, if you know what I mean.
You said you had two questions, but I haven't heard one yet, honestly.
She asked the questions. She had answered them.
My question is to him is, and then their police, the justice system doesn't really fix the issues because of the qualified immunity. And I understand you guys do need to have some kind of immunity for your job. It's a very dangerous job, but as well as a soldier and a firefighter. And I think if people are going to sign up for a job like that, then they shouldn't be scared on their job, right? If you're scared to do this job, don't go into that job. And you have certain responsibility, and letting cops get away.
I want to say this: the military. Hold on. The military has UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice, and guess what? Everybody is subject to compliance, regardless of who.
I guess my question would be if he agrees with my main statement.
You didn't have to mute me. That was really rude.
I didn't mute you.
Well, somebody did.
Well, don't blame me when I didn't do it. If I did it, I'll tell you I did it. I didn't do it. Wow. Whoever muted her, if y'all want to say y'all did it, that's cool. If not, it's cool. But don't blame me for so. I'll tell you I muted. If I mute or kick anybody, I'll tell you I did it. I didn't do it. Since there's a break, I will say this though. When I looked at the police report, they did not say he had a knife in his hand. They said they found a large unsheathed serrated knife on the driver's side of the floorboard. They said they found that after the fact. They did not quote that as a reason to break the window.
So where y'all getting the police report said they broke the window because he had a knife? Because I was literally saying that's not why he broke the window. He broke the window because the other officer said, okay, go ahead after the fourth delay.
Exactly.
Where y'all getting that from? Levon? But I'm just asking.
Somebody said about the knife, and I said that was not mentioned in any of the videos that I saw.
Okay, Levon, you got to stop getting your information from Twitter, okay?
What are you talking about? I never mentioned about knife.
No, she never said nothing about a knife. She was just talking about what the article said. The only thing she said was it was not mentioned. That's it.
No, I never said anything about the knife.
Well, I just want to be clear. The knife was mentioned in the police report. However,
she was talking about in the article. The police report is going to be totally different. They did not have.
Yeah, I mean.
And Brooklyn, to answer your question, he was charged and did plead guilty. He's already to the driving with a suspended. That is a part of his charges.
Right, and resisting arrest never was as clearly shown in the video.
On February 20th, McNeil pleaded guilty to and was adjudicated guilty of resisting an officer without violence and driving on a suspended driver's license. Violent, they overdid it, they fucking damn sure should be sued. No question about it. I have no qualms in saying that, right? But we also got to be real about the situation. If you're driving on a suspended license with weed on you, you might want to comply.
I'm going to say this is where I have a problem with your argument, because at the end of the day, I didn't see anything about him that was being violent. He was talking to the officer the entire time, and at the end of the day, it seems like we always push the frigging goalposts. I'm not finished. We always push the goalposts as to what the hell compliance means. If I say it this way, this is not complying. If I say it that way, I ain't complying. If you say it this way, you comply. I mean, it's crazy to me what we are calling compliance and what we're not. Because I literally watched the same video y'all watched. The man is talking to the officer. The other officer decides, I'm just going to break this goddamn window and decide to throw this guy out of this damn vehicle. And here's where I have another.
That's not what happened, Riz.
He was talking to the officer. Period.
That's not what happened.
I'm not going to argue with you, Dr. Goddess. I'm not.
Can you pass me some crack, please? Thank you. I want the crack pipe with orange plastic.
Can I speak to a manager?
Just let her finish.
Yeah,
it's not that serious. If you don't like it, if you don't like what she's saying, then refute it. But
yeah, you can refute it after I'm done. The bottom line I'm making is that there was excessive force use. I don't give a shit how you look at it. And at the end of the day, here's where I have the big problem. We always using the word damn suit. But here's where I have the problem. You know who ends up paying that suit? Not the damn police officer, not the police department, the damn taxpayer. We are paying the damn price for all these damn lawsuits when you have rogue-ass cops doing rogue-ass shit. And this is what I have a problem with all the damn time. There's a way bigger picture to this to me than anything else. We could get into all the finites about how it all displayed, how many times he stalled a police officer. We get into all of that. But at the end of the day, here's what the fact is. The fact is they beat the crap out of this kid, bottom damn line, and at the end of the day, it was a routine fucking traffic stop. And I don't care whether he had a suspended license or not, he did not deserve to get his ass beat. And he does not now deserve to have $1 million fucking dollars because he got his bad ass beat by some over fucking, police. I'm just sick of this bullshit, man. Oh.
So, what I wanted to say to you, give me a second.
I'll go after that.
What I wanted to say was, so I've been arrested multiple times. I got a fucking pass. Listen, I've been traffic stops all the time. I got a pass. Within my pass, I know I did something wrong. If they ask me to do something, I got weed on me, I got other shit on me. You think I'm not gonna comply with what the fuck they ask me to do? Of course I'm gonna ask when I'm being stopped. But outside of that, I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I'm doing the wrong thing. I've never driven with a suspended or a non-licensed driver. But if I know I'm not supposed to be driving, I'm shutting the fuck up and I'm doing what the fuck they asked me to do. Point blank. Point blank. Did he deserve that? No. No, he did not. But prior to the 2 minutes
something was going on prior to that as well. So what took place prior to the video started rolling? What took place? I'm not making an excuse, like I said. I'm not. But like I said, when you know you're not doing the right thing, shut your fucking mouth and just do what they ask you to do. End the story.
No. You can comply, but you don't have to shut your mouth. You can respectfully ask.
You can recording so much love. You sound like you're.
Your mic sounds crazy.
Can y'all make room for everybody else on the stage to speak, because it's like the same voices keep going. Like maybe Ashton wants to say something. Drew, L.
Well, I've been listening carefully, and I didn't know the case very well, but what I'm getting out of this is that it sounds like the policeman was well within his rights to ask him to get out of the car. He's going to pay for that. That's what it sounds like to me.
My friend wants to say something real quick. Go ahead, Joe.
All right. So a couple people ago, the lady was real upset. I don't know her name, but it was several F-bombs dropped in what she was saying, correct?
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happens with the police. Something happens that you don't like, and you have an emotional response to it. You can't think clearly if you're thinking emotionally as well. Because, I mean, like, it's F this, F that, F this. Like, it's too emotional. And your brain, you can't absorb the information being presented. I never once said that the police were right. They were right up until the point the punch landed. Breaking the window, that's fine. Break the window. Like, get out of the car. Like, that's from the United States Supreme Court. And it's an officer safety thing. When I do a traffic stop, I don't walk up to a vehicle because I'm walking into an ambush. I stand in the door of my vehicle with my gun unlatched, ready to go if I need it, and order the person out. They come out, their hands empty, my latch goes up on my gun, and then we deal with the traffic stop. But the issue is people want to fight the crime, like they want to have court on the side of the road, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. Why would, like, just look at what happened in the video. Why would there be so many officers responding to a traffic stop? I'm lucky if I get two with me. There are several officers that responded. What?
She said come to Florida.
Well, and look how dangerous Florida is. So officer safety is paramount. That's the first thing that's taught in police academy. Officer safety is paramount. I guarantee you, you look at the news today, and which I'll say this too, a lot of y'all got information from the news. Y'all some fools if y'all believe it. Because the news is designed to sway your opinion, and it's clearly working listening to this conversation. But if I see something, oh, man does drugs and chews his girlfriend's face off, 85% chance that's in Florida. All the headline news comes from Florida. Florida is dangerous. We all know this. Look at Miami.
That's because you followed the media, actually. That's because you followed it.
Yeah, it's Florida, Texas, and then Indiana.
Yeah, no. Our state, I mean, we got problems. Everybody lives in a perfect state now. This shit is crazy.
Yeah, they need to get on my nerves with Florida and fucking Texas.
Come on. Let me not, don't make me start putting up Florida in Texas. Come on, don't do that. Come on. It's fucking bad neighborhoods and good neighborhoods and crime rate.
Wait, real quick, y'all. Wait, does Fred or Drew have something that they want to say?
April does.
Fred, you keep.
I don't think they got nothing to say. They just wanted to say something after him.
Well, I
could answer.
He wasn't done submitting. Y'all literally jumped on him.
Is trying to talk now. What's going on?
Hold up. No. He was missed mission when he got cut off. He was. Two people came off the mic while he was still talking.
Okay, go ahead. Whoever was still.
So I was told with the comment that is because I follow the media and a perfect state. I live in South Louisiana. Like, I'm a short drive away from New Orleans. I'm 30 minutes away from Baton Rouge, Shreveport. I don't live in a perfect state. But there's places where violence is way higher. And There's places where people aren't afraid to shoot at the police. All this stuff. There's an officer that just got killed here not that long ago. So I get it. And the thing is, the problem, people judge, but they don't do a damn thing to make a difference. If like the lady dropping all the F-bombs and the cops did this, the cops did that, go sign up. Go sign up. I guarantee you they're taking applications right now. Go do the job the right way. But that's not going to happen because we could throw the stones, but we don't realize we're doing it in glass houses. Go make a difference instead of just talking about it. Because to me is very dumb. If I'm gonna sit there and judge McDonald's, okay, I could probably make a better hamburger than McDonald's. Let me open my own place. It's that easy. Like I said, there's police officer job openings in every city in the United States. Sign up and do it right. Maybe some people can't sign up because of the decisions they made prior in life. Fine, that's for you to deal with. But you can also get a gold seal expungement and get a pardon, and then go sign up and do it the correct way. Because sitting down talking and getting emotional, cursing and all that, it solves nothing. It solves nothing at all. The basis of a conversation is to exchange and accept information. Period. That's all it is. Getting emotional about it, like you don't have the facts. You only know what's
If you're talking about me, I was
Katrina, he ain't even talking about you. Dwight down. Come on. What's wrong with y'all tonight?
But ma'am, the lady that just said what's wrong with y'all tonight, it's what's wrong with the world right now. Like, just look at it. It's happening in this conversation just on a smaller scale than it's happening across the entire world. And that's the problem.
So let me say this. So one, it's reasonable for anybody to get emotional about this subject, the amount of young men that have died from it. So I think it's saying that that's not reasonable is a problem in itself. I had 2 cousins die, police officers murdering them.
I didn't
talk when you was talking. I didn't talk when you was talking, bro. Come on, hold up. Slow down. We should be looking at this as one of the biggest problems that are going on, and it's happening in our community because we should feel safe from police officers, from law enforcement. And this is coming from somebody whose dad was in law enforcement. And my dad was the one who told me about the problems that are in the police force, the problems that are in law enforcement across the board. So that's the first step. The second step, though, is there has to be a point where we really look at it and by numbers, if that person was white, even if he did the exact same thing as this black man did, he doesn't end up in the same situation. And when we back away from that part, that's where I get confused and go, why aren't we focusing on the biggest problem, the fact that there are major setbacks that are put in place for getting good police officers, getting a higher percentage of good police officers. And let me give you an example. In the Bay Area, and they just changed this for people, you're taking officers from outside of that county because they felt more comfortable with that. That creates a problem in itself because you have people that are outside the community, just want to make the money, and that are afraid, for example.
Either sheriff's office?
It was Alameda.
That's where it was a sheriff's office?
Correct, Alameda.
Okay, you know the sheriff is elected, right? And the sheriff is who makes the policies.
Not the sheriff, the Alameda officers, sheriff officers.
Yeah.
So the sheriff,
he was elected, and he got unelected, or he lost because he was terrible.
So that's what I'm saying.
That doesn't make it okay. Like, that's the kind of answer, respectfully, that makes people really frustrated with a lot of cops. Because it seems like I believe there are good cops. I believe there are lots of good cops. I believe those good cops are way too silent when it comes to the bad cops, and it makes a lot of cops look bad because this kind of stuff goes down all the time. Like, I can't speak to wherever you are. Like, I mean, you didn't say exactly where it is. I don't know where it is anyway. That part of the country I don't know well. But I can tell you, like, where I live in the Bay Area, Vallejo PD has gotten away with literally murder multiple times in the last, 10 years. There was a guy who shot and killed 3 people in 18 months. And then they let him take early retirement, take a whole bunch of money, and then they hired him back at some crazy rate on Vallejo PD because of all the stuff that he saw. And that article's a month old. And so part of what I find frustrating in this conversation is like there just need to be more good cops who are like, I'm not going to let the profession be tarnished by these bad cops. and to
call out the bullshit when you know the bullshit is out there. Like, why do you think that is?
Retaliation. You say a lot of officers do it after they retire and everything, but like acting on the job is retaliation.
What kind of retaliation could they face for? Let me ask. What kind of retaliation could they face for speaking up?
I got you.
No protection in the
I can
field.
tell you about that. As a lawyer, I've seen some professional retaliation, labeling them as snitches. They've been denied promotions. They've seen their career stagnate, and also personal risk as well as physical retaliation as well in locker rooms, and then I've had cases where I had to deal with that.
They got family members too. Don't forget.
Hey, so this is my thing. I hear what this officer just said. So if that's the way it is, why the hell are officers continuing to be off? I mean, I guess, all right, let me be sensitive when I ask that question, because I know people, they have careers, they're making a living. But if that's the way this shit goes down, why the hell are officers?
But officers, I've talked to some of them, but many do walk away. I don't think you know about it, but many people do leave the police force. Some don't for simple reasons. One, they don't see it a lot. These are like rare cases, they say. We see it a lot because of media, right? And like, I just moved to New York, so when I look at the numbers here in New York, is it per capita? Like police are going around, doing this violence? No, right? Not anywhere really, right? But it shouldn't happen at all, right? But there's no mass.
Yeah, because it sounds
happening like that.
And I know it's been that way. I mean, but shit. I mean, and I know we all know this, but shit, it sounds like you joined the damn gang, joining the police force.
Well, you are joining the gang by definition. You would be, right?
Yeah.
Same.
Well, I mean like a lyrical street gang.
JD, I don't know if you know this, but in LA,
it's illegal.
In LA,
go ahead.
In LA, they documented, I think, somewhere around 23 gang
area too.
Inside of the LA Police Department.
Yeah.
And they were identifying themselves by tattoos. They were getting tattoos for bodies they caught. I mean, everything that a gang does, they were doing that shit. Let me not say was. They're doing that shit.
Doing kickbacks for like clubs, like who gets the because they get paid for outside security, things like that. They make sure their gang got that club. It's some scary shit. They had to make a rule that you can't be in a police gang.
Can I just?
And it's really
okay.
I'm going to be super quick. Thank you, Katrina. Be really quick. And it's also to JD, to answer your question. It is also a mentality of, and this is no disrespect to Gemini's friend, it's just the reality. I've experienced a police academy and have worked in that field, and there is a mentality that is, who else is going to take a bullet for a stranger? Who else is going to run into a bank robbery to save innocent citizens, right? Who else is putting their what are their jobs? Obviously fire, first responders, but not the same. So I think that for those cops that validate in their head to make them sleep at night, for whether it's embezzling or the Vallejo example that Your Honor brought up, it's we are the front line. We are the ones. There's no one else out here that's willing to take a bullet for a stranger. Thanks, Katrina.
Yeah, that's the thing. Police officers actually not getting the justice. There's no criminal justice, and it's very rare when it is, right? Criminal justice. That's the thing. Okay.
Would you say that?
I'll answer the first part. Yes, there are. There's criminal, so that simple battery, but also doing it as a public official is malfeasance in office. And then if he gets fired, he loses his pension.
Yeah, but he just goes to another state and he has that job with another state. Listen, my husband works for.
Let him finish.
Just finish. Let me finish. Hold on. So first of all, we know that police officers. I mean, come on, you have to agree with me that the police officers who are doing a really bad job get away with it. They have a civil suit, and the taxpayers end up paying for that civil suit. But the police officer doesn't get the correct punishment as he should. I think that if I don't know, a doctor, right, who performs a surgery, and because of their actions, they end up killing you, and they didn't follow the instructions, then that doctor can go to jail for manslaughter. I think the police should be held to that degree. I don't understand why in this country our police is not held to the same degree. And the fact that we just say, oh, go sue them, like we were talking earlier, oh, just comply, and then just go and sue them. We know that actually doesn't take the bad cops off the job. A lot of times they just either gets put on administrative leave, or would you agree with me that there should be a harder punishment?
Well, I think everyone does it.
Actually.
Hold up, can I answer, please? Google this name, Derek. DEREK. Chauvin. CHAUVIN. It's a French last name. People call it Chauvin.
You know who it is. No, I know. I watched the trial.
That's what I'm saying. And why people always say like the police don't get a punishment. All right, the guy that punched somebody, the guy on the traffic stop today. What do you think is a fair punishment for him?
I'm talking about Sarah. I'm talking about police officers.
No, I'm asking you a specific question. The guy that just punched somebody in the face on the traffic stop. What do you think is a fair punishment for him?
He should go through the same legal process as everyone else who punches someone in the face.
It's an assault and battery.
That's what should happen.
What it is. And
all right, then what's the consequence for a battery?
Hold on. And then I wasn't talking.
You're skipping steps.
And then he can't have a job because he already basically had the record. But on top of that, all I'm saying is that I wasn't even talking about this particular situation with, I think people are just very upset, and this is so triggering because I personally, like I brought up to you before, I've seen, and I know those cases and I've followed them very closely, where police officers wrongfully do body harm, break legs, ankles, or...
Katrina, you saying the same thing again. Give a direct answer. Hold up, Katrina, give me a direct answer, right? Hold up.
Battery.
Okay.
All right, so what do you think the consequences for that?
What should the consequences for assault and battery be then?
But that's not her job. That's a lawyer's job. That's not her job to say that.
We're not asking. It's a conversation. And I wasn't talking
about a lawyer. She know the code.
It's not a job. I don't know the same for everybody else. I mean, I'm sorry. If a cop kills somebody and they did it, and they should not have fucking immunity. I'm sorry. If you particularly like the cops that killing someone. How many of them have actually gone to prison? I'm sorry. I follow cases. I'm telling you this. I follow, as they say, he was being combative.
Well, assault and battery in Florida is a misdemeanor.
And he didn't comply. And he didn't comply.
Yeah, it's a misdemeanor everywhere.
He was autistic and he couldn't even speak. And they shot him to death. I think those officers, well, all of them, need to go to fucking jail for murder. But no, they're not in jail. Because, somehow it got justified.
Katrina, I actually agree with you, but I would take it a step further, right? Because what was just said, right, is he should be charged with assault and battery, right? I want you to think about this. Assault and battery is a misdemeanor. Misdemeanor means not much, right? Not much is going to happen. There won't be much legal repercussions. I think if you're a police officer and you commit assault and battery, you should be held to a higher standard because you're in a position of power. You're not a civilian. You see what I'm saying? Well, so I actually take it a step further than you. I'm actually agreeing with you. You just don't realize it, but I'm taking it a step further. I'm saying because of their position, the power dynamics in that situation, that's not a normal assault and battery, because normally if somebody assaults you, you're going to respond, but that badge is going to restrict us from responding, right? If a police officer punches you, you're not going to be as quick to respond with the same violence or reciprocate that force, because you know that punching a police officer is a felony. That's not a regular misdemeanor like punching a civilian. So I think it should go the opposite way as well. If they punch on us or assault us while utilizing the badge or hiding behind the badge, it shouldn't be a regular assault and battery. It should be something more.
Assault and battery can't be felony. It's an aggregated theft.
I could agree with you, but I was just saying at least treat them the same as us. Like, let's start at least there, right? That if a cop kills an autistic child and literally for no fucking reason, but then he justifies it and says, I did it because he wasn't complying to my orders and he wasn't talking to me and he was acting like he was high on drugs, that cop should fucking go to jail. It's a murderer. So not fucking get dismissed and then not just working in the police department.
So Katrina and everybody on stage, I think that we all agree with you. This is you're arguing the basis of the entire Black Lives Matter movement, which was a movement and a relatively successful one. That's why we had the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. It didn't pass.
I know.
Like going after one second. Okay. This. Some of my clients are the mothers of people who have gotten killed by police. Our children, and I'm not talking about people with disabilities because obviously that is a separate category. But in terms of the example that we're using in this discussion, this man in Jacksonville, we need to teach our sons and daughters, especially if they're Black, that it is better to come home. And I love what Dragon said, and I'm going to fight your ass in court. I'm going to beat your ass in court, right? Like I look forward to this battle in court because all of these mothers that are out here, their lives are shattered because they lost their sons primarily, and they're never going to get them back. And so all of this tough talk and all of this, fuck that, like even Poe Pimpin, I was saying in the chat, like, are you just ready to have all out war? Because you talking about, having your gun and stuff like that. And I'm like, why does it have to necessarily be like that? So that's just like number three, really, because we are fighting. Two, because of Black Lives Matter, not in every state, the cops get to just keep doing the same thing in every state. Laws have changed in some states. Now, a lot of police, their records go with them. They cannot just get another job. And just can't be so casual. Like, I'm a little frustrated because the criticism around the language of comply, if this is to save lives, and specifically like the Black and brown people who are targeted and are racial profiled. Even this dude, he was probably racially profiled. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, fucking comply. Like, you need to be alive so that you can fight another day. At the end of the day. And then the other thing is that we are now in a Trump administration. The George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, it was not passed. We still have qualified immunity, and then you have this idiot Trump in office saying, not only do I support qualified immunity, I want to take it further. I want the police to have one. And I'm just saying, as a person, as a Black person in this community, and as somebody who is around a lot of these people that are suffering and they're in never-ending pain. Their child is never coming back. Like, we gotta teach them. So men on YouTube, they're teaching how to properly interact with police, and they definitely say, like, stand up. But I've seen way more of these Moorish videos trying to tell you that you don't have to comply with the government, that you are sovereign, you don't have to, you're not a citizen that needs to comply. I've seen that shit over and over again. And this, I can't tolerate it, especially now with Trump and his bullshit. I land.
Dr. Goddess, I agree with you 1,000%. And I want to say the thing in that video that stuck out to me was after he got slapped in the face, I saw his face. He sat there. He had to swallow that whole, right? He was like, I saw that. And I know. That alone really pissed me off before the other stuff even went down. And I will always, as a husband, we will always teach our sons what to do so that you come back home. Because if you don't come back home, I'm going to have a serious problem. I need them alive.
Shanice, are you going to speak?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to say, and implore Katrina, I get the advocacy and your point about what happens when, like, nonverbal or autistic people are put in these situations, but I think that it kind of clouds the processing of this moment and this situation. And I'm saying that as someone whose brother is bipolar and has manic episodes if he's not managing his meds, because to an untrained officer, that if he's in a manic episode, say you want the police officers to have the harsh penalties for what they're doing to someone who's autistic. I just want you to think about it. Like, I'm not advocating for cops getting less punishment, especially if they're doing something that they've escalated and it's egregious or it ends in death. But to just think about it, when you were saying it, I'm thinking about how there needs to be training on both sides. We need to train our Black boys and our Black men how to come home safely and fight it through litigation. But we also need training on the police side. And in split seconds, when they're doing these traffic stops, you almost have to be psychic to know the difference between someone that is nonverbal or autistic versus someone having a manic episode versus someone that's just on drugs. So I just want to leave that there.
Can I respond real quick? Just 30 seconds, please.
Go ahead.
Okay. Janice, I work very closely with our police department in my town. We actually make sure that they come to the therapy centers and they meet the kids, and they come there every single year. I personally and other people have organized a program where autistic children in our neighborhood and our police department come to the police. They have a whole little routine. They get to play with the search and rescue dog so that the cops know who are the autistic children in this neighborhood, and adults as well, especially the ones. And I am talking about particularly Black boys, because they get targeted a lot more than white boys. And there's something. I'm sorry, our cops are trained not to have racial profiling. Our cops are trained to be, to have justice and do things by law. It doesn't mean they're going to follow it. And in my world, as I do have a child on the spectrum, I really keep track of all of those cases. And a majority of the times, it's not the white boys. So that is even all. I'm just saying, like, we were just diluting the situation, dissecting the situation in particular. Oh, is the guy wrong, not wrong? And I'm just saying, hey, listen, why are we even sitting here talking about, is this guy right or wrong? Because we know that police officers do stuff that's wrong. Why, like that, it doesn't matter at this point. They're still going to do what's wrong. Trained, not trained. We do have some of those police officers. And there's no way right now to get them out. And that's a problem.
Can I get in the queue, please?
Yeah, me too.
Just go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to wait until all of the body cam is released. There was one stated that the officers didn't do anything criminally wrong, but they just opened up an administrative investigation. I read that report, and they said, when I saw the police officer take him out, unlock the seatbelt during that video. I don't believe anything until I see all of the information. In addition to that, I find it weird that the young man did not file charges at all. In fact, he pled guilty. So if he had any type of Morse training or any of that, I would have think that he would have given a definitive defense, pled not guilty, and lawyered up right away. He sounds like he doesn't really know his rights, because this lawsuit seems to be just recently filed, and this case happened in February. I land.
Yeah, I didn't see where he pled guilty. I know he was found guilty for resisting officer without violence and driving with a
He
suspended
served 2 days in jail. I just read it. He served 2 days.
February 28th.
I was just
February 23rd, he pled guilty to
5 months.
Driving on a suspended license.
Well, he was guilty, so he was supposed to file. What are we talking about right now?
I'm gonna make it real short. Let me take this.
It was proof that his license was suspended.
What's going on?
Yeah, you know when people plead not guilty and try to get a deal or whatever?
It's like everybody is planning to get off the mark.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it appears as if he just lawyered up. This occurred February 19th or February 16th or something, 5 months ago. And this is just hidden with attorneys. And what I'm saying is, in the original report, they said he was charged with not wearing a seatbelt, and that charge was later dropped. And I'm asking you, who to believe, your lying eyes or the cops? Because did we not see them unlock the seatbelt off him?
Yeah, we did.
But why was it?
That wasn't my point.
Why was it dropped, Levon?
Because they probably lied. That's all. I'm not saying the whole case. I'm not saying the whole case. I'm talking specifically about the seatbelt. That's all.
Right, but I mean, in law, things are dropped for multiple reasons. I don't think we should assume that. Like, I've had cases where you drop something just as a plea bargain. I mean, there's so many reasons behind something. There's sometimes the state even decides to drop it on their own, right, without reason, because they may think they don't have enough evidence, or they don't want to spend their money to do it. There's multiple reasons, so I don't want to assume about that.
Okay, but did we not see them take him out
I just want to land. Yeah. But did we not see him? We saw it. Okay, but like you said, we don't have the whole video.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I got you. But to your point, we didn't see the whole video. There's many times people put on, I'm not saying he did this, but there's multiple times people put on seatbelts when they start recording. So, that's not the people there.
But I've also said I want to wait and see.
Let me just finish. I don't want to keep going around that. I want to go on that. It's more about the conversation Dr. Guys was having too, because as I'm now 48, I spent a lot of time in law and teaching education and in psychology, right? So part of my fight in Chicago and New York has been about this balance between compliance, right? But also the ability for us to exercise our rights, right? But I agree, based on data, I have to agree with Dr. Goddess because people are dying over this thing, right? So I agree on its surface, right, that we need to be teaching, all of us need to be learning. I mean, regardless of, because this is like state endorsed violence to me, because of the laws, both federally and state, that protect these officers, who many of them, like we've heard earlier, a fraternity or sorority, right? The key difference is that you have to have 3 or more people, right? And you have to be involved in some criminal activity. By definition and by case law, we see police crimes, right? So it's not far-fetched for me to call police a gang. I add that to the fact that my experience has been that certain people can't engage in their rights, right? So when I see police, violate First, Fourth, Fifth, amendment rights of people, I get upset. But Dr. Goss is correct. You can challenge that later, right? Many times it isn't hard to get that stuff handled if you have video, but there's times where we don't have video, right? So in my experience, I believe, no proof, that there's more evidence of police, causing more harm and breaking rights than the drivers. The drivers are the people who in my experience, don't know the law. The police are the ones who are trained and not in conviction of law, right? But during a police stop. That is not legal whatsoever, right? So I'm saying that we have to figure out this balance between how do we protect our young men, who mostly, and now in Chicago especially, increase in young Black women, but how we protect our kids and our teenagers and young adults, and even adults, all of us, right, from gang activity, right, while within the law, right, but at the same time trying to figure out how to get home at the same time, right? So I'm looking for more solutions around, for me, my only success in cases like this, and my friends' cases like this, other lawyers, is we have video phone. If you have one of those Androids, I don't know how they work, but we can set up alerts. Like when I get pulled over, I just simply say to my phone, hey, I got pulled over. It starts a video, it texts a bunch of people, lets people know what's going on, where I am, what's happening. Like those things like that help someone like me on the legal side protect you when you bring it to court. And I'll just land there.
That was good, Corey.
But I want to say I'm highly upset about people in these comments who keep saying things like he should just comply. I agree with you, but when I hear he should just comply, that sounds like something the police are doing correct, right? And we need. I'm gonna stop talking because Dr. G is still correct, but I'm trying my best to fight police violence. It's hard when people don't recognize what police are doing wrong and want to just point to the victims, or not just victims, even criminals. Criminals have rights too in this country. That's hard for us to agree with, right? Even murderers get rights. I know we in this world of Trump where like he wants only like if you're an immigrant, you don't have rights. He's wrong. The Constitution says anyone in this land has rights, well, certain rights. So I'm just trying to figure out how we can understand that Black people have rights too, and we can exercise them. We can.
I was saying earlier about the conversations about this comply are very bothering to me, because at the end of the day, it's like even if you comply, you still run into the chance of rogue cops. And I'm not saying it's every cop, so let me be clear. But there are rogue cops, and we do have a broken police system. You know, I remember in doing criminal justice, one of the things going on, and then he checks to see what's going on. And we forgot about community policing in the process. It's like we don't figure out who's in the community. Half of the people or police officers don't even live in the communities that police. So we're over-policed on some level. And a lot of times we run into these situations that are problematic. But again, we got to stop thinking that it's okay to keep saying comply and we allow police officers to beat the crap out of especially Black men, young Black men, older Black men, our children. They are killing us. It is problematic.
Rez, can you just give me an example, though? And ignore your rights, just comply, shut up, and bow down to. I don't think that's fair for y'all to be doing that. So when you're saying, I gave you that situation earlier, and I told you it happened to me, and I was very clear with you that hold on. You asked me the question, I'm gonna answer you, JD. You asked me the question, I'm gonna answer you. You said to me about this complying conversation I had. I gave you my actual situation that happened to me, that I complied the entire time. I'm being called a nigger the entire time. And I'm literally saying nothing to this police officer. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? I've given him my daggone. Right. So I'm not cutting off. I remember your story. So my question is, why did you comply? Why didn't you just not comply?
Why would I not comply?
Because that's what you're up here talking. I mean, I'm misunderstanding.
You ain't gonna be talking loud with him. That's the man. Go ahead and talk to him.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's a fact.
That's not what I'm saying, JD. I'm saying to you that we keep using the word comply, and we're acting as though that the flip side to that is not that there aren't people that comply and still have problems. What I discussed earlier, which is what I said, was that we need to look at the laws and changing qualified immunity and putting ourselves in a position where you don't have police officers to the other. Yeah. And at the end of the day, they're still doing the same shit.
No, I get what you're saying, but I just don't think comply when people, at least in this context, in this room, are saying comply, that they're saying don't do nothing. I mean, go ahead.
Well, let me add some legal. Let me just a couple
Nowadays,
legal.
walking around just being Black is a crime to some people.
Wait a minute.
And you guys left the back door open. I told you guys to close the back door open. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. You guys gotta close the back door. Come on.
I'm always in leash. I'm always welcome to Lisa's space.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
Real quick on this compliance. I'll be short.
Native American, okay?
Aurora, you're interrupting the stage.
So this is a couple examples of compliance that leads to some additional charges that I don't think that means we don't get to apply our Fourth Amendment rights, right? So just to be clear, in Florida, right? Because this is where this took place, right? I looked up their laws, right? Because I'm not based in Florida, right? But my parents live there. So when I look at Florida, right? When he was asked about his car, and I think a gentleman mentioned it before about the Supreme court case. I think it was Pennsylvania Men's he brought up, and then there's an additional one in '97 with Wilson in Maryland, right? Florida though has some additional rules about him stepping out of his car, which is why I think they're going to challenge some of these things. He definitely was guilty of the suspended license, right? But here's the point: when a cop pulls you over, it must be a lawful stop, right? Anything, if it's not a lawful stop, anything after that can be thrown out, right? So that's why cops want to be clear. And me if I was a prosecutor or a supervisor, please make more lawful stops, right? And I want to add on that there are quotas that cops have, right? There used to be a 20 and 1, 20 tickets, 1 arrest that cops were given in LA and New York to do, right? So I want to be clear about this compliance piece, right? When you comply to a cop, right? When he says something like, hey, can I search your car? And you comply with a yes, right? You're not offering him to find other things that he can arrest you for, right? Things that you may not have nowhere illegal, right? Now,
Corey, dialogue with me. Them asking you a question, can I search your car? You have the option to say yes or no, versus them saying, hey, get out of the car. That's when I think when people talk about compliance.
Well, the rule, by the way.
Exactly, JD. Thank you, JD. Exactly, JD.
But somebody asking you, can I search your car? Well, of course I'm going to say no. That's not you complying. Me saying no would not make me not compliant. I have the right to say no. So that doesn't mean
you comply.
To be clear, cops in most manuals it says, can you step out the car? Cops can do cops command all they want, right? But in legal terms, right, you ask people to do things, right? Even all right, so for example,
but Corey, if you're
let me finish my sentence so you get my point. Let me just finish the sentence to get my point. If a cop sees you commit a crime, he's allowed to give commands. Right? There's no longer suspicion, right? You have it. Even in some court cases, right? And the Supreme Court agrees with this. If there is reasonable suspicion, right? Something that any reasonable person, like anyone on this stage,
articulate suspicion.
Right. If you can reasonably articulate the suspicion or the crime that's been committed by you can actually give commands, right? So you should maybe read police manuals, right? Now, a lot of times you have to ask. Even we have to ask for some things that we're not sure about, like, am I free to go, right? Because am I being detained or I'm being arrested? Like, there's rules to all these things, right? I'm only saying skirting the rules.
Yeah, I don't
disagree. You in more trouble.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. It's just like I said. When people are saying comply, in the context that I was hearing it in this room, was the way people wanted their children to behave. And but I get you. I don't disagree. But I'm gonna let Sloan have it. Sloan, it's on you, Sloan.
Oh yeah, that's okay. We went past the point. It's fine. Thanks.
JD, you said it perfectly. When somebody is telling you what to do, that's when you comply. When they're asking you a question, you are complying when you answer the question. You're not refusing to answer the question. You're answering the question. So that's still a form of compliance. But I think one of the things you need to understand is your rights, right? When they're asking you, can I search your car? My answer is going to be no, you cannot search my car. That's it. I'm complying in that point, right? I'm staying within my boundaries of the law. So the more that you understand the law, the better off you will be. And if you are writing dirty, and if nobody knows what writing dirty means, writing dirty is suspended license and some motherfucking dope in your pocket, right, nigga? When you sliding like that, that's when you fucking comply. The fuck?
But also, if you come home from a party and you have one drink, right, and some people's blood levels can go above the legal limit, right? So let's be clear, we all write dirty sometimes. Let's not make it these extreme crimes.
Speak for yourself. I don't write dirty. You wrong.
I'm not saying me either. Let's
say we all.
Not me. Come on. We all is a general term, meaning I'm not pointing to anyone in particular, but people do these things where they do things where they can be in trouble. The law is to protect all of us, not just police officers too, right? I'm saying you're wrong about that, right? But the laws are also made to protect you in cases where police can do overreach. I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. But you're absolutely right.
But the law also allows for you to violate. I think
when the people are comply, it's just that you can't ridicule that with people don't want to stand up for their rights. That's all I'm saying. I mean, the context of the room was very clear on the people that were talking about comply. The context was very clear, but then it was purposely ridiculed. you don't want to stand up for your rights. I mean, come on. That is
right.
the point.
Exactly. I'm the officer. I'll pull you over. Ready?
You do have the right to be silent, too.
Why are you asking me to step out of my car?
All right. Well, wait. I asked. Okay, now it's my turn. Get out the car.
Is that a lawful order and why?
Get out of the car. Because remember, that guy was asking questions too. Get out of the car. I'll tell you.
Is that a lawful order?
I'll tell you when you get out of the car.
Call your car. Well, call your cars. I don't have to get out the car.
And he said that too. He said that too. Get out of the car.
Yeah, but that was his.
Corey, so now command has been given. And now
I'm going to comply with that command, but I'm gonna definitely object. Like, this isn't legal. I'm already going to be. I'm having my phone reading or running at that time. I'm going to be recording, and I'm stepping out of the car.
Sometimes, at least here where I live in Texas, I'm trying to make it home. My grandmother always taught me. And just here recently, there was a guy that had his hands up, and they shot at him. He complied, still got shot. Right? My folks said always do the best to make it home, especially in a state like this one. You can comply, and officers still act some kind of way. The best way is certainly, be silent if you can, because you don't have to say nothing. You know what I mean? You can, just sit there and not do anything. But, at the end of the day, there are people who have done that. You have the right to remain silent. And anything that is used against you, right, that can be held up in court, right? So those are things that I certainly, understand, when I'm driving and all that stuff. I also keep, current laws and stuff dealing with driving in the glove compartment. So I know, okay, this needs to be current. Same with gun laws. Hey, man, that's on the back of my door. Every year that laws are updated, I try to stay current to the best of my ability. If I'm operating a vehicle and if I'm operating a weapon, what is the laws and compliance for me to have these items? So I make sure that I am doing the best that I can to be in compliance when I'm using that item or a car or whatever. And including my person, I try to do the best that I can. And, I got, pulled over by the police. So a friend of mine that was driving, I said, don't yell, don't do all that other kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because some people do. They have, you may have an attitude or whatever, but they didn't. They, essentially told us that something wasn't working, a light on our car, and they told us, hey, you got to, get this done. They gave us a warning ticket, the best that I can. And so far, I haven't had any issues with the police or anything like that, or any of that, because I also keep those laws in my hand at all times, man. I don't care where I'm at. I try to keep that in the glove compartment or just keep that small book in my backpack. Yes, sir. That's the way I do it. That way I know that I'm in compliance with laws that I try to follow to the best of my ability. Am I saying everybody should help me out so much? And of course, I work with the police and stuff here to put together events, rallies to make sure people are safe. So everything I do have to make sure it is in compliance with the law because I'm responsible for people's safety. So, yeah, I got to work with the police.
I think the issue...
So, is Lisa... Okay, I just want to get in queue after you, with Katrina.
No, you go first. Go first. It's Katrina mentioned a lot.
Okay, so the one thing that I think is missing in this conversation, right? I hear the fact that we're saying this is what we should do. We should take on responsibilities. The cops need to hear their stuff. The one thing I'm not hearing, and this is irritating, is if we do decide that we want to teach our youth, how the fuck are we going to do it, and when are we going to fucking do it? We are going to talk our asses off tonight, all the different permutations of what we can do. But at the end of the day, where are we going to say, hey, kid, you need to learn about the law before you go to this PWI. You need to know about the law before you go to associations in colleges. Should be teaching this shit to incoming freshmen because the shit gets wild in fucking colleges. Secondly, if there's a mentoring program, out of all the sessions that you have, you need to have one that focuses on law and how to make sure you can get taught to make sure you don't freak out when this shit's happening. Secondly, we got organizations like 100 Black Men, You got there's like a Sigmas. Is it the Sigmas or the Alphas? The purple ones. I forgot. They do leadership conferences with young black men all the fucking time. When are we going to start implementing this shit inside of our institutions? Maybe even at a church. My sons are in Boy Scouts. I'm looking at a fucking merit badge that's literally about law and crime prevention. They're already fucking doing this shit in this Boy Scout predominantly white organization and giving them awards to learn the fucking law. Let me read to you 3 things. Okay? 1, requirement 2, part C. 2 famous trials in history. That'd be nice if we could learn about our shit. Number 5, tell about several laws and where they were passed to protect consumers and sellers. How about this? Laws that protect passengers and drivers. That would be great. Number 6, part A. Attend a session of a civil or criminal court. Write you 1-word essay about what you saw. That would be great if we could take these kids and say, hey, guess what? This is what's going to fucking happen. This is why you need to do shit. If they can't attend, record a video. There's plenty of crime TV. Let's be specific. 6B, plan to conduct a mock trial. If we can have mentors, mock trial shit out. So if you encounter, you can do that. Last one. This is not uncommon. The Civil Rights Movement did it when they had their freedom riders. They prepared their people to interact with people on buses and on counters. The Black Panthers were teaching people about laws. We can do it. We've done it before. We need to do it now.
So we do that. We do that at our church, the school. We've partnered with the school districts in Dallas and Fort Worth to stop the violence. We do that through car shows, food drives. We've given away TVs, paid for college, so on and so forth, combined with secular businesses, not just religion, but secular businesses have come alongside us and said, what else can we do to try to get kids off the streets? We make sure that they have to go. And we teach you.
Are you having an hour lecture? Are you having an hour lecture, and then are you having an hour lecture during a session, patting them on the back, and then letting them go out in the world? This is more than a fucking hour's worth of training.
No, we do. We do actually give those kids awards. Some of them can do ride-alongs with the actual police so that they, if they want to do that, they can do that. And so those are good, real-life skills. They can ask the police questions. A lot of times we bring the police in there.
That's not what I'm talking about. That is not going to move the needle. Yeah. When you ride along with the cop, you're not forcing yourself to understand how to interact with the cop. We have a crazy cop. That's a different situation.
Next speaker.
Lawyers.
That's a different situation.
We do teach them how to interact with the cop.
Do you hear me talking?
I'm sorry.
No worries. Your Honor, did you ever get a chance to get in? I don't know.
I'm gonna let it pass by. I mean, it's okay. I'll just say very quickly, I grew up in a very diverse neighborhood, and they were teaching us in Little League, starting at about 7 years old. Age appropriate, obviously, and then it would continue on from there.
Comply. I kind of sat and reflected on it, and I think the reason, me personally, it kind of triggers me is because a lot of times the people who justify police violence are the ones who say, well, just comply and you're going to be alive. And I think maybe subconsciously it kind of triggers, at least me, that like, you know what I mean?
I'm glad you're saying this triggers you, because you also mentioned that you don't have to deal with police officers doing no fuck shit to you, right? So I'm glad that it triggers you. Perfect. But this conversation is triggering a lot of us that actually dealt with police officers, and you guys are saying that complying did not get us home safely. And that's why we're able to speak on the mic today.
Man.
So I think we're getting triggered too.
Yes.
And maybe not everybody has dealt with police. You see me, I don't drive. So I don't deal with police pulling me over. But I have dealt with police coming to my home. Okay? And I have dealt with police in that way, right?
pack your shit up and get out. Mel's gonna pack her shit up and get out. Or my pregnant ass is gonna be on the fucking floor. Squashed and everything on my belly. So this conversation has went further than we ever thought it was gonna go.
Thank you, Mel.
I think Lisa fell asleep on the top left. That's how long it went. But I don't understand. It's like, do what you guys want with your kids. Tell your kids whatever brings them home. Whatever makes you feel better. But this is ridiculous. This really is. You guys can take the mic.
I mean, to be fair,
my hair girl listening, y'all. I'm turning it down.
Mike is low. My mic messing up. I don't got to.
They do it to me all the time, Brooklyn. Go ahead, sis. You know.
But I'm just. That boy went home, so even though he wasn't as complicit as he needed to be, he ain't fight police. He ain't reach for nothing crazy. He held his hands up. He did all of the things. So, I mean, in that respect, he did a good enough job. I mean, I have been pulled over and arrested a few times. And I'm not going to tell you that I'm the best person at being complicit because I'm fucking human. Like, I just didn't say something. I tend to give people the same energy that they give me. I don't really give a fuck who that person is, but that's me. I'm not telling anybody to be like me. But I do have enough wherewithal about my rights to know what and what not to do. I treat a police officer like I treat any other human being. I'm not going to put my hands on a normal human being. I'm not going to do that to a police officer. But if the police curse me, I'm going to curse his ass back. I'm just going to do that. If I get arrested for it, then fuck it. I'll work that shit out. But I'm not going to do anything that's going to get myself killed, per se. But at the same time, with the way that things are going in society and the way that police officers are human too, and the fact that they might be having a bad day and they might just feel like you are their target and you might be the target. I mean, there's certain things that you just can't, you might not be able to talk your way out of or comply your way out of. We all know that. So in that case, then laws should be changed, definitely. Laws definitely need to be changed. There should be some advocacy for the citizens, not just for the police. It seems like they have all of the rights to do whatever it is that they want to do. And the citizens, the normal everyday citizens who pay their taxes and pay for these police officers to work these jobs, they don't have any rights. I think that's where a lot of people are, like, on the other side, the ones that are saying, comply is not all you need to do. Then people, I think that's where they're coming from. But in that case, then, we're going to have to do some more thinking and some more reaching out. And I think that, what's his name? Dan. His idea started off like a good idea, but it went places that I wasn't sure about. However, I do think that there is some room for, high school kids, junior high school kids to learn everyday laws and how, because that is the problem with everyday citizens. Everyday citizens don't really know the law. Like, we know what's bad and what's good for the most part, but like the law to the extent where, I don't know, like, you might be the headlights don't be on. Now I know, but if it's something like that we could probably teach people to do, then I think that, we might be in a better position. I don't know. I just don't want to argue with you.
I agree with teaching. Hey, I agree. I'm with you. For the guy who essentially was saying, and asking me, do we do this and do that? Yeah, we try and definitely do. We certainly do teach kids and others, especially adults, to the law, that kind of stuff, because we really want people to understand, along with not just the police, but there are lawyers that that we work with, so that those who are coming out of prison and those folks who want their records expunged, we help those folks understand those laws. So we do try to break things down from traffic tickets all the way up to people who've been in prison. So we do the best that we can to provide all the resources to those who can use them and those kinds of things. So and it's free. We don't charge people, none of that kind of stuff. And so we just believe in justice nights, and we believe in providing people justice under the law and using all of that and all of those tools to be able to help our citizens and people know that if they're pulled over by the police, we have a paper that also says you have the right to remain silent if you like. Really, honestly, truly, you can. So we try to make sure to have an encompassing effort to teach people. So I hope that helps as well. We'll continue to do that. We've been doing that for over 41 years, and we'll continue to do it.
Let me tell you something. When I was 11,
the urgency.
Let me tell y'all, when I was 11, I turned 13 immediately because fuck 12, right? So I agree with what's her name, Ashton, when she said, "Don't say nothing at all. Be silent." Silence is golden. I'm just gonna keep it real. Like I done been arrested in the fucking police station, and when they was asking me questions, I had nothing to say. I'm muted in the person without a tongue. I don't have shit to talk about to you because at this point I feel like I'm violated. So if you feel violated, do a woosah, take some breathing exercises, and don't say shit and wait for your lawyer. All you need to say is, "Lord, yes."
Smack him, hit him, whatever they decided to do. He could have stood quiet like a little church mouse, and it would have still happened.
This is what I'm saying. These people are strategic as hell in how they talk to you, how they're trying to escalate you. They have tactics and strategies, and they know enough of the law to be dangerous. We know enough of the law to get our asses in trouble. We need to know more than that so we can be more strategic, so that when they try to toss something our way, we can recognize it and we know how to stir it. Not to be like, I'm going to give you this quick fix and just be quiet. They got answers for that. They are constantly training each other how to circumvent shit. What are we doing to figure out how do we... They're not trying to tell you when shit goes crazy, how do you know how to take control of the situation and steer it in a direction where you can make it, where you can come home. And I mean, you need to know the laws. And if they are just saying, fuck you and fuck the laws, then you need to have a plan B to figure out, okay, I'm not working in law. How do I keep myself safe and still be compliant? So when I go to court, I can get what I'm deserved. I can get my justice. Right now, it's not about justice. It's about survival. And
we teach you not to...
I have a question for the stage. I have a question for the stage. For all the people that have died in the hands of police officers, what percentage would you say complied out of all the videos we have seen?
That's what I'm saying. We need to go beyond complying.
I mean, way too many.
No. I'm responding because Katrina in the chat. My point was that even when people comply 100%, they still get killed or beaten. So my question is, out of all the videos we have seen, what is the percentage of people complying and them being killed or beaten? That is the question. Say complying, when somebody tells you to get out the vehicle, you get the fuck out the vehicle. When somebody tells you to shut the fucking car off, you shut the fucking car off. When somebody tells you, hand me your fucking wallet, where's your registration, where's your fucking license, you hand it. Don't move. Put your hands up. This is all shit of complying. What? How many people have died when they gave them all the... I'm asking, because clearly you guys know more about complying than we do. So I'm asking the question to everybody that's fighting back, compliant.
Well, I remember the one guy that was in the car with his girlfriend, his daughter, and he was complicit. And you know, when he told the police officer that he had a gun, and he told him,
Antoine.
Yeah. That he told him that he was getting his registration or whatever out the glove compartment, and he was following all of the rules, and he still shot him. So Yeah, so I mean, this is a slippery slope, y'all.
This is what I'm talking about. Hold on, Dan. You should have got out of the car. You should have asked him, can I get out the car? And then let him take the gun from him. That's what he should have did.
So that was the option. It's hard to use those type of situations because it's almost equivalent to like being in the wrong place at the wrong time, right? It's almost like equivalent to being at a place where there's going to be a mass shooting. Right, if you get in a situation,
ain't nothing you can do about it.
Right, it's like nothing you can do about it. So it's
practice and rehearse and be calm.
You can't teach non-compliance because, like I said, those are rarity situations that you can't teach that. It would be just unfortunate. It's unfortunate if you end up in that type of situation. But I mean, you can't. There's no way you can teach your kids how to deal with something like that. That's like trying to teach, I hate to use kids in this, but like if you're at a movie theater and someone comes in and starts shooting, the only thing you could do is run, hide. I mean, that's why the lesson I think America's trying to say here is comply. And I got the whole things of what Dan's trying to say with teaching your rights and all that. But at the end of the day, you can know all your rights. You still gonna have to comply at the end of the day. I mean, if they're violating your rights physically, I mean,
Gemini, I muted you up because of the noise.
You gotta do mock scenarios, and you gotta escalate it. You gotta do mock scenarios. You gotta escalate it to the highest you possibly can, and they have to be trained.
No, there's nobody answer my question, right?
What they do is, I don't know. 90% of the videos that I have seen and the incidents that I have seen, people actually comply.
90% of the videos you
That's not true. That's not true. It's not true. I'm not saying it's not true.
90. Come on.
Yeah, you guys are wild.
Unfortunately, most of the time, there's very minor non-compliance. It's very minor non-compliance.
You guys been arguing about complying for how long already?
I've
2 hours?
I said you can comply and still express to tell me the reason why you arrested me and requested a supervisor as you're compliant. That's my stance. You don't magically lose your.
And guess what? They can tell you the supervisor's at another stop. The supervisor's busy. So what you gonna do then?
But I did, listen, I said still comply, but that doesn't preclude you from asking for.
Okay, love. And what if at that point I tell you the supervisor is at another location?
But I said 3 times now, still comply. Did I not?
That's not what I've been hearing from you, Katrina. You guys been.
I have been very clear. I said, it's all in the chat. I said, you can comply, but that doesn't mean you cannot ask for a supervisor as you comply. Go look in the chat. I've been saying that from day one.
You should have let that fly, LeVon, because she didn't mention your name.
At all. I was actually saying, yes, you survive in a moment, but as we were talking, what can you do about it because your rights were violated? Then it's like, oh, well, you can sue them. Well, and my argument was, well, right now, the laws that we have qualified immunity. A lot of these cops don't get the justice that they deserve.
I think
you have a victim mentality. We're empowered.
You guys, I know I'm not hearing things. These women have been arguing all this time.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about? The police officer was speaking. They were speaking over the police officer. They were interrupting the police officer. Few people cursed. Like, what are we talking about right now? I was mic'd down all this time. And that's why I don't like to. I'm the type of person, I'm like a fucking bomb. I hold, and I fucking explode. Because this is the shit I've been hearing all this time. And now the fucking bomb just exploded.
I never disrespected. Put a name at it. I never disrespected that.
What I said, you 3 women have pushed, once again, you 3 women, Katrina, Rez, and LeVon, been pushing back this whole conversation for 3 fucking hours. That's what I said.
The police officer.
Listen to me. Are you going to listen to me?
I'm standing on business.
Are you going to listen? Okay, so you're not going to listen. Is that what you're saying? You're not going to listen. What I said is that you guys was pushing back for the last 3 hours. I heard who For what reason? For what fucking reason?
I don't think this conversation should have lasted this long.
This is crazy.
I also don't think that they were saying not to comply. I think this is what I interpreted from their conversation.
I never said you cursed, so why are you putting that in the chat? Are you listening with your RN ears? Open your motherfucking ears. Open your fucking ears. I didn't say you fucking cursed. I said red and fucking Katrina. Did you hear me now? What the fuck?
Yeah, I just crashing out for no reason.
Nah, bro, because we tired of fucking hearing them three. Why do you think we're crashing out? We fucking tired. Everybody's tired of hearing them.
I get it, right?
Shit.
And I see where you're coming from because they did overtake the conversation.
And that's why I told people to do whatever the fuck they want with their kids.
It's crazy when I'm the same one in the conversation. This is really, really crazy. I'm the same one.
All right, no.
I do want to say this, right? I noticed the people that...
LaVon, you was pushing back on... Do I gotta speak to you in your fucking language? Do I gotta speak to you in your fucking language? You don't understand what I'm saying?
No.
You've been pushing back all this time. All that fucking noise in your background. You was pushing back.
Oof.
Are you fucking shitting me?
All right, Gemini, what was you saying, Gemini?
I was just going to say, I noticed the people that are pushing back against the comply are mostly women. Like, most of the men...
Don't feel bad for my husband. My husband's doing good. He got a good-ass wife. Okay? Do me a favor. I don't know who the fuck you are. Don't speak on my husband. Respect. Okay?
Let's just
fall the fuck back.
I'll remove him. Where is he?
I don't know who the fuck that is.
You sound crazy, though. Calm down.
You know what the fuck you was doing all this time. You want to do the replays?
No.
We could do the replays. We should close this room right now and we could do the replays. We could shut this down right.
All right. So this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do.
We could do the replays.
LaVon,
don't play with me. Because everybody fucking said you've been talking all this time. Get the fuck up out of here.
I placed you in the goo, LaVon, personally, because when Mel was talking, you said, put a name on it. Like
I didn't say all three of their fucking names. Are you dumb?
And then it escalated to you asking questions about, I never cursed and so on or whatever. So that's the reason why when we having conversations...
I don't know why y'all women be playing with me.
Gemini, what were you saying?
I want to say something, too.
I'll wait for Brooklyn. Go ahead, Brooklyn.
Go ahead, Brooke.
I just want to show you how easy it is for people to just blow up because it's the simplest shit. Y'all didn't even have to argue about this. All you had to do was tell them to just be quiet. We get it. We heard you. You complied in your situation and it didn't work for you and here you are even though you're still alive. We got it. I didn't get from them that they were telling you not to comply with this. What I heard from them was that even when you do comply, I think bad things still happen, and it does. I don't think we should argue about it. And it's crazy that I'm the fucking...
You know, Mel always got to say what everybody's thinking behind their mic. And that's the difference between me and other people. I'm going to say what everybody's fucking thinking. Shut the fuck up already.
Yeah, I say that too. I just stop them. I don't even let them continue. I just stop them right
Brooklyn,
there.
you're not helping this situation right
now.
Brooklyn, you're not helping. All right. What's going on?
I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead.
Okay.
What I was going to say is most of the pushback on comply came from women, and I think there's a reason for that. Because as men, we're faced with those situations. It's our reality, right? We don't have white woman privilege.
LaVon, keep on. Your ass will never enter this room again. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, LaVon, because you'll never come into the room again. You're going to have to go look for 2 other houses to hang out in. Don't play with
Patty
me.
says we need to change the subject.
Because she want to be in the chat. Her whole ass want to be in the chat. Get the fuck out of here.
Let's
change the subject.
5 minute silence.
Don't play with me.
5 minute silence. Let's move on.
Because this is getting ridiculous.
I'm ghetto and I'm hood. I'm not unhinged. She's unhinged. No, I'm fucking hood and I'm fucking ghetto and I'll drag your ass if need to be. Okay? Thank you.
No.
Stop playing with me.
No,
Stop playing with me. Stop fucking playing with me.
Chill. Like, just relax.
I hate that's corny.
You're not helping the situation.
If you ain't gonna talk on the stage, don't be in the chat. Go work. Go take care of your patients.
All right. So if nobody's saying nothing else about the situation, let's keep it moving. What's going on? So what about the MLK files? Did y'all read that? Are we moving to a different subject? We staying there. Gemini, you saying something else?
I was going to finish what I was saying, if it's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I think we should go to a different subject.
Damn, I think you should shut up.
Hey, let the moderators moderate.
What do you say, Patty?
Compliance, though. Please don't do compliance.
Just a suggestion.
No, you fuck the patient. Gemini is about the fucking talk, and that's what the fuck is about the fucking
Gemini, light this stage up. You tired these motherfuckers.
Man, y'all making me want to light this stage up.
Light this shit up.
I'm going to try to bring comments, because y'all got it already. Y'all said everything that needed to be said. The First Lady and Mel already said everything that needed to be said. It's on you.
I can't run out of work. I'm at work. Hold on. I can't run out of work. I'm at work, so I can't run right now. So, you know, when I be crashing out, people be trying to kick me out of the room that I was in.
Oh, Lord, now. Oh, Lord. Lord, listen. Okay.
Check this out.
There's nothing wrong with everybody crashing out. So
there's updates from the judge.
Since Mel, don't do that. Don't be rude. Since Mel crashed out too, we all deserve a crash out up in here one or two times. All right. So what we're not gonna do in here after, if another mod crash out, we won't be kicking.
All right, Dad, crash out, baby. Crash out. You next. You next.
First Lady.
What the hell? Where's he at? Y'all wildin'.
First Lady. First Lady.
Don't call my name out.
This room is called No Seatbelts. Fuck it.
Wait. I want to say something to First Lady. It's only your second day. Child.
Is it? Is it my second day? I don't know. Have we gotten 24 hours yet? I don't know if I am.
You done it.
It might not be a full 24. Like, that's okay.
Right. Hey, you got 24 hours.
Look, you done already.
I don't be playing with you young kids like that. Don't play with me like that. I'm older than
I don't know what's going on. Okay,
so
don't be disrespecting y'all like that. Y'all young kids. Hey,
So you know,
y'all all need to say
Harvard went to
Brooklyn, pass me that blunt.
Patty speaking. This is her room. Patty speaking. Go.
This ain't my room.
Damn, that's top left. Top left is not even running her room. Lisa, you see what happens? You left us.
All right, Lisa, go.
Crash, Lisa, crash.
Lisa, please.
Way too much, though.
doing way too much.
Okay. Cool.
Lisa?
I don't know. Yeah. So what else happened today besides that shit?
Okay, so you know Harvard went to court about the funding that was being pulled back, and I do have a
don't say Harvard unless you respond to the shit I sent you.
Mom, check it back, Jones.
But I think we're past COB.
Got the music mode. I don't even know. I just pulled something quick because y'all.
Just grab some random, like, talk about this.
Right.
Including top House Democrat Hakeem Jeffries. What are they hiding from the American people? Release the files. While House Speaker Mike Johnson today expressed Republican unity.
There's no daylight between the House Republicans, the House, and the President on maximum transparency.
But more questions on the White House driveway about whether the FBI will open its files after the president said he wants grand jury testimony about Epstein released following pressure from his own MAGA base. Is the president satisfied that his own supporters are not heeding his call to let it go and to move on?
I know the president would reject that, Kelly. In fact, he cited over the weekend some polls showing that his approval rating with the Republican Party is actually at an all-time high.
But will he call on Kash Patel to do more?
Ooh, sorry, y'all. That was God.
Ron is not dissipating drama around the DOJ files of the notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, including top House Democrat Hakeem Jeffries.
What are they hiding from the American people?
I'm trying to read.
Release the files.
While House Speaker Mike Johnson today stressed Republican unity.
There's no daylight between the House Republicans, the House, and the President on maximum transparency.
But more questions on the White House driveway about whether the FBI will open its files after the president said he wants grand jury testimony about Epstein released following pressure from his own MAGA base. Is the president satisfied that his own supporters are not heeding his call to let it go and to move on?
I know the president would reject that, Kelly. In fact, he cited over the weekend some polls showing that his approval rating with the Republican Party is actually at an all-time high.
Will he call on Kash Patel to do more?
The president has told the Attorney General and the FBI Director to release any credible evidence that they find.
Well, exactly 1 year after Joe Biden dropped out of the 2024 race, his son Hunter offered a new theory about Mr. Biden's struggle at that fateful debate.
Who's going finding the Medicare? Thank you, President Biden.
Blaming sleep aid Ambien taken around his foreign travel for his performance.
He's 81 years old. He's tired as They give him Ambien to be able to sleep. He gets up on the stage and he looks like he's in
Race. Asked about that Ambien assertion, the former president's office declined to comment. Tom?
Kelly O'Donnell, our thanks to you.
So there was an interview with his son. I think it was yesterday, and it was a pretty good interview. I'm really not. I can't do this tonight, though, really, because are we gonna talk? Where are we going with this?
I don't know. Lisa, did you hear about they released the MLK files? I said the Epstein files.
Yes, ma'am. I did hear that they released, and we talked about it. There are 232,000 pages of this, of the MLK. So I don't know who's going to take the time to read that. It ain't going to be me. I don't think it's, what's the point? I don't know where we're trying to go with it, if we're trying to embarrass him or what, but it's not really to solve anything, and nothing's going to, I don't see any benefit to it at all, to disparage this. But that's what he's on right now. He's going to be on Obama, and he's going to be on anybody else that he can find to divert attention from himself. And so it's his opportunity to take down two black men at one time. And ignore his bullshit.
The family didn't even want those released.
I thought they were going to release it to say something about.
That was already
Well,
there are things that
you know.
They released it so that we could have the audio files. That's all they're doing. Like the 230,000 pages and stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that there's nothing worth value in there, but it is definitely to embarrass King and to basically tell everybody, you know, we don't need to have a King holiday because King was a terrible person, blah, 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 blah. You know, King, the family knew King was having orgies, so that's really what was released.
What?
Plus, the family didn't get it all released because I think when they originally was going to release it, they actually, it was a statement that they wanted to listen to the tapes first before they were released. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. If the family said they don't want to release, I'm not really into trying to read all of them.
Right. Hey, Andre. Good to see you, brother. That's crazy.
I'm really curious. I'm really curious to see what the CIA has probably released, mainly when he went to India to try to talk to Gandhi and all that other stuff. The CIA had to be engaged. So I'm curious to know what they were doing, trailing and tracking them, because they had to be, and how that went into the larger collection of files about Margaret.
But why would they have orgies in the files? Like, what is that about?
All that is to just tear down King's legacy, because at the end of the day, like my man said, CIA, FBI, first and foremost, and lastly, at the same time, if that makes any sense, King was starting to become a commonality, and America didn't want it. So they killed them both. They just used people like us, that look like us, to infiltrate those organizations, and now Trump and whoever wants to announce his legacy and say he was this and say he was that, it's all bullshit. It's just dumbass bullshit.
Well, remember, he also was involved. He was being more critical and critiquing the policies of Vietnam, and people say that was also a trigger point too. So I'm curious to know, like, what they're saying about that, because you start dabbling in Vietnam, that really unseats people.
Yeah, so
was nothing but a drug experiment that went right. That's why they came back with all the heroin.
What?
I'm sorry, what?
I don't understand what you just said.
Didn't the case of heroin,
So, yeah, and we saw a war to have heroin.
I misunderstood what you said. Really. I was just saying this. When you said anything dealing with Vietnam, America, the whole thing was drugs. It's always just drugs. And I'm proud to be an American. I love it here. Let's just call a spade a spade.
So a lot of people don't know that the FBI, like, they were harassing King. And I said this maybe the other day, but they sent his wife pictures, of his philandering, because he was a philanderer. And then they also sent pictures to King, and they wrote him a letter that said, you should kill yourself, because they were threatening to blackmail him, and and things like that. And they basically were telling him, well, they didn't basically, they literally put in the letter, kill yourself, because they knew that he had this image to uphold, and they wanted to demolish his image, and so sending him that was a way of blackmail. It's a ticking time bomb. They're gonna come back with all this bullshit. I think there are already documentaries out there about this part of his life, so that the black men that we hold up to esteem, that we damn near worship, and they're gonna tear him down. That's what I see in the future, and just wait, because they released them, I think, yesterday? So we've been talking about, and you know what it is? I'm up till 4 o'clock in the morning, so it could be yesterday or today.
My thing is, that's not the first time that I've heard about his activities. Because if I'm not mistaken, Henry Ford had if it's Henry Ford, don't quote me on that, has exposed certain things about King anyway. So for me, that's not the first time that I've heard what you guys just spoke about.
Who is Henry Ford?
Henry Ford was one of the
that's the president.
Not Ford. What was the guy? What was the guy name? Yes. Thank you. He used to be the oh God. Name the place that this isn't the CIA. J. Edgar Hoover. Thank you. J. Edgar Hoover. Thank you. Yeah, so he had done a lot of investigation, and he had a lot of shit on him. So this is not the first time that I heard that.
Oh, we talking about the same person who was dressing up in women's clothes.
That is correct. That is correct.
Here's what I'm telling you. These hypocrites are just unbelievable. It's cool you want to do that. It's cool, whatever. But how are you just going to justify going after somebody on the stage just saying?
I'm saying it is. I don't believe it for a second. I do not believe anything they say about that man. Not the CIA. Nope.
they're trying to recreate history. They're trying to make a darker noir MLK story. And what better to attack somebody who doesn't have the ability to fight back? That is really what this is about. You're attacking a man who cannot fight back, and they have documents that they could have fabricated, whatever, and now they're going to use that against him to tarnish his name. So it's despicable.
So how do you guys feel about that? Because I think the family is going to spend a lot of their time, if they choose to, or are they going to just let it go down the way it is? Just stay on mute and be cute, or are they going to have to defend? Because they knew about it before these were even released. They knew what was in those. What could have been in those.
The foundation is at risk. The MLK Foundation is at risk right now. So they're going to try to take that down. If they can take down the foundation, then they can take down his legacy.
They're trying to take down the statues. Ain't that about a bitch?
Oh, well, that's another reason why.
Here's what I think. The people don't have to stand up to all of the stuff that they're doing. I mean, we know what they're doing. We can't stop them from what they're doing. But we do have we can react by not reacting and letting them win. And not letting it, I mean, why does it have to damage, whatever you said, the foundation, or take down his foundation? It doesn't have to. It's an administration. It's not America. And I know that's easier said than done, but we got to get, why does it have to take it down? I mean, we literally watched this man be lifted back up like, he has 9 damn lives. I mean, Teflon Don doesn't even begin, but it's because they lift him back up. So why aren't we gonna do the same thing? That's all I'm saying.
It's gonna be revenge. It's gonna be revenge. We tore down Confederate statues. Now they want to take down his statue.
Where did Trump is paying for him?
Where did you guys say that he was sitting there?
Just saying.
No, I'm asking.
I think there's going to be a connection. Give it 6 months. Watch. Give it 6 months. If they can tear down his image, then they're going to be like, why do we need to erect him up on this such and such?
So are you admitting that you're making this up and you have not read this or heard this? This is something that you are feeling.
I am feeling, based on the despicableness of this man, I think that because he's already trying to dance around renaming military bases after Confederate people, arresting Obama, what makes you think that probably has not crossed his mind?
Well, he did. So Trump did. I saw a headline either yesterday or the day before. He did remove something, Martin Luther King Jr. from the White House. I don't know if it was his bust or something like that. Do y'all remember seeing that?
Yeah. From the old downstairs.
He's so petty.
He's saying petty.
You gotta be careful going after all these ghosts. They're not. I mean, I honestly think that, if I was like the PR person, something advising the King family, I'd rather say nothing. If that's what you want to do. There's no reason to call attention to it. Or attack Trump back. Like, Martin Luther King is beloved. You really think Donald Trump is going to want to fight with Martin Luther King? Like, I just don't see that happening. So they came back at him with something like, this is just another example of a small man trying to tear down a great man. Like, what is Trump going to say back to that? He's going to do a social post on Truth Social? Like, what are we going to do?
Right, that's all.
Like, I don't think you can keep up with King. Like, you're Donald Trump. He's Martin Luther King. Like, this isn't a competition.
Oh, but you want
a Nobel Peace Prize, and
He wants to tear down Barack Obama. I don't think there's no black man in his hairs, in his sights, that he's not going to at least try. It might not even be him. He might just dole that out to somebody else and keep this drumbeat going because
this could
and I just want to know how we're going to respond as a community. There, once again, because we're the ones who are endowed with protecting his legacy. I don't know how this is going to happen, but they released them. People are reading them as we speak. We're not reading them. I don't even know where the hell they are. And 230 pages, how we going to get through it? If there is audio out there, that's being listened to. And I don't know why everybody always thinks that, this stuff is just going to go away. No, it's not going to go away. The thing with Obama, they're going to juice that. They're going to keep on juicing it until they get as much as they... Pam Bondi then put her shit out, herself on the line right there, too. So just to say they brought it up today and it's going to be gone tomorrow, even with the Obama stuff, she just stepped out on a fucking cliff. She got to do something. She's going to try to juice it as much as she possibly can, and don't matter who, how, what, it hurts. For both of them.
Facts. Well, why is it so easy to release the MLK files? Why is it so easy to release his files and not the Epstein? What's the problem?
So when Coretta Scott went to court years ago, would have been the audios. Those were supposed to release. Either way, they were going to be released in 2027.
True, I remember.
Right. The family's been trying to fight it, but you can't fight it because that was the agreement made in court. So regardless of the fact they were going to come out, and then you guys got to remember there's this guy named David Garros who wrote this book. There was other stuff that's been released, so all you had to do is put two and two together. So like when they released, there was a bunch of transcripts and some other shit that is based off of these audio files. Some of the stuff that was freaking being followed. So if people did not fucking read and understand that shit, and he wrote a book, then trust and believe a lot of people is not going to sit around and read these audios because they would have already known a lot of this shit already.
If I can jump into this also, saying that, so this is a diversionary tactic, and yeah, it's something he put on the playing field that has to be dealt with, but it really is just he can't get away from these files and this whole thing, this battle against him and Rupert Murdoch. I was either watching Media's Touch or like Lawrence O'Donnell. They're doing some good work on this, but they're talking about going up against Rupert Murdoch and his attorneys and the way they vet things before they put it out there. So if Trump wants to do that, he's going to have to do a deposition where he's going to have to explain how he knows like these things about Jeffrey Epstein and about how like the parties and all this stuff that Trump will have to actually have like a video deposition going back and forth. He can't do all this stuff. But I'm saying it to say that this MLK stuff, it's a diversionary tactic as the Obama stuff is. And I would hope, because y'all talking about like how we're going to react to this community, we're in the time of Diddy now. We're in the time of Shannon Sharp. We're in the time of scandals where all this stuff are like our people. I don't know that, and it's just that I'm just talking, but I don't know when Dr. King was doing his thing back in the 60s, and the fact that our heroes or people are flawed now. Look at how people were supporting Tyler Perry with the stuff that's going on with him. You still got people supporting Diddy. I don't know. It's a hit to his legacy, but all the good that he did, the Voting Rights Act, all the things like with the boycotts, everything he did, like Bloody Sunday getting beat up on a brick, he's done a lot for the people, and I would think that people will look past this, because a lot of people that are older that like are in that generation that were around the 60s, I don't know that they're moving away from Martin Luther King. I just think that this is not a nothing burger, but it shows how desperate Trump is, and he can't get away from the Epstein files. And I'm kind of rambling.
What's negative? What's negative in the papers? Can somebody kind of bring me up to speed, please?
Yeah, let me tell you. So for years, well, this is just something too. I just want to say real quick to Jim and I. For years, there's been this thing, because this word has been out about him having orgies, and there's something about
where somebody would beat a woman and he witnessed it. There's been like speculation in the background for years now. This is not new information. So, but
you're talking about all the white women accusations and all that stuff. Is what you're talking about?
Yeah, let me land and let them talk about what they got. But I'm saying this is.
Yeah, Michael's right. So that David Girls guy actually put together the timelines when the FBI released the bit that they could release, right? So say, for example, when that woman got beat, he was being followed. They had the dates and everything in the time log. So, like, he put the stuff together and he freaking wrote a book. I have to Google the book real quick, but there's a book already out there. He's read some of the transcripts. He's probably the only person that actually really did in-depth research on all of it. So, yeah. So Michael's right. It was abuse. It was extramarital affairs. It was sex orgies, sex parties.
Racist and trying to eradicate Black history. Trump, there was a picture of Martin Luther King.
Dining room.
That's where it
Along in the kitchen.
Yeah. I can't. If the National Archives, there's a picture of Martin Luther King, he moved it, and I think put a picture of Richard Nixon and Elvis up in place of it. It's what they're doing with trying to take stuff out of the African American History Museum that he deems offensive. This is before we got to the point to where he can't run from this Epstein file thing, and he's like being desperate. He was already moving to eradicate like Black history and things that were a source of pride. Juneteenth has nothing to do with Martin Luther King, and he's like talking about why we got an extra day off, in June. So he's already been moving in that direction. This is literally just the man is flailing. Like I mentioned last night, it's like somebody in a fight. They can't fight with their eyes closed and they're just swinging their arms, hoping to hit something. Or somebody drowned that don't know how to swim, and it's like it's trying to like tread water, and it's like slowly drown. This mofo is done. This Epstein shit. So it's like whatever he does, he's going, he's going to try to do whatever he can. He's desperate as fuck, and so he's going to throw out anything he can. And it's just another thing. Like I said, we got to deal with it now. But the family already knows, and a lot of us in the community already knew. This is not new information to a lot of people.
Well, Michael, he's also going after, he's doing all kinds of stuff, but here across the news, he wants the Amandas to change their names, the Cleveland Indians or what have you, instead of them being called the Guardians and all this other kind of stuff. So it's like everything that's being thrown out is a distraction. Why is it that you're doing this? And those kinds of things, saying that you're going to now hold up people's funding for stadiums and whatever else. And it's like, what in the hell? Are we in a dictatorship? Or, you know what I mean? You're now trying.
In my opinion, what's going on is this is a man that's been able to get away from everything his whole life. I don't know young Donald Trump stories like we know about young Dr. King stories or whatever when he was a kid and things he might have done. But I know that he had bone spurs, air quotes, and he avoided going to fight in the Vietnam conflict where a lot of people that didn't have the ability to have bone spurs went and lost their lives. Apparently, if you read the filings, he's apparently raped young girls, underage women, and he's still been able to get past Epstein. He can't run from it. Jeffrey Epstein, by his own admission, said that Donald Trump was his best friend. They were besties for 10 years. There's so much footage of him, and we know Jeffrey Epstein is a convicted, I believe the man was convicted, but he is a known child rapist. So I think the Florida case, he was literally convicted. So that was his best friend. And then by Trump's own mouth, he's so stupid in the way he runs his mouth. So go look the Howard Stern interviews. We have so much stuff of him talking about his affinity for underage women, including his daughters. So there's nothing that he's done. Martin Luther King has, for all intents and purposes, been a deity in his public persona.
What is he trying to say about Martin Luther King? Work with me. Just let me
land. So I was going to say that in comparison, Martin Luther King has been a deity. So all the things that he did, like the fact that we can vote now, the fact that we have a Civil Rights Act, the time that he came up and what they endured, the sit-ins, a lot of stuff I don't agree with the way they let themselves get beat down, but a lot of that beating, it created public sentiment and allowed for a lot of things to happen. I'm just saying that Trump is morally bankrupt, and all the stuff that he has done, this is something that he just can't run from this. So all I'm saying is that he is this is like he's flailing. So I don't know. I crashed. But anyway, I hope that answers your question, Aston.
It is about. Go ahead. It is about.
Thank you, Michael.
I appreciate it, Michael. Thank you.
I'm gonna lock the stage up because I've been over TikTok because y'all done me fucking crazy. Come on. Them soliloquies the last episode, I don't know what hour we was on. But, okay, so put this together, walk with me. J.D. Vance was meeting the Murdochs somewhere, wherever they ass is in the, hold on, let me go get off this. He was meeting them in, hold on, I got it. Vice President J.D. Vance on Tuesday made a brief, not this Tuesday, made a brief trip to Montana, where he spoke to media mogul Rupert Murdoch, his son Lachlan Murdoch, the head of Fox News and News, and a group of other Fox News executives, according to people familiar with the trip. Vance met with the group at the Murdoch family ranch in southwest Montana near Dillon, according to the people, whoever's providing this information. They confirmed the visit to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak publicly about it. It's not clear why the Vice President spoke to the group or addressed them or what he spoke about. But this was shortly before the Wall Street Journal, with the birthday letter that, got Trump upset. And so there's, Michael, this for you, conspiracy, the new TikTok conspiracy. I just saw a little while ago. Is Trump doesn't want these out because not only is his name in it, but he and Jeffrey Epstein were lovers. My lover.
Oh, wow. Now they know they need to bring that out.
What, April? What? I'm just bringing the news of the people in the streets, okay?
It's funny, but you almost don't even need that. This child stuff is so damning. I mean, that's just like another shrimp on the barbie, another log on the fire. But it's like you don't even need that with all this.
All that talk in that letter, and Lisa, who know what they've been doing. But I'm just putting that out. But the thing with J.D. Vance was true. That was not a conspiracy or somebody just speaking off the cuff. It was a visit that J.D. made to the Murdochs. And for what we don't know, but Murdoch does have the Wall Street Journal, where a few days later, the Epstein letter, birthday card, where the hell it was.
We can start to connect dots, though. I mean, clearly, and again, I said it last night, and I always do air quotes because whoever the fuck they are done with Trump, clearly. And J.D. Vance is the vice president, and that's all y'all talked about. He was such an odd selection because he wasn't even on Trump's radar. He was a never Trumper. So all y'all talk about, like the Peter Thiel connection, like the Curtis Yarvin, the Elon Musk, like all of that stuff. So yeah, it appears that like the Manchurian candidate, like somebody said the other night, like they're about to install him, is what it looks like.
And I have put my link in the chat for any Trumpers that come in here trying to play games. My link about J.D. Vance.
But I'll just say real quick and go on mute. Michael, I think that you're giving that way too much weight, the pedophilia. I think they're going to get past that too. And the reason I say that is that Charlie Kirk, it was fuck Trump, we want the files. And now they're talking about Obama and possibly MLK. So I think they're going to move past the pedophilia thing too. I do. I mean, ain't nobody talking about it no more.
100%.
Let me respond to that though. The only reason I think that this is something that's not going anywhere. So you have to think like this drawing that we just found out about was drawn in 2003 when Epstein turned 15. So the drawing is 22 years old now. Like all this like video that we've never seen from these pageants and these people coming out. He's a liability. He's embarrassing the American, like just this country. So don't just think about like, like us on our side of the aisle. He's embarrassing everybody, and outside of these sycophants that are mad.
So I do agree with that. I do agree that they are information. I mean, we keep saying they have the information. They could have stopped them. Who is they? Who had the information? Because my thing is that if everybody knew about it, then how come the Democrats didn't use it?
Because, and then I have a theory about that. I got theories about, but Bill Clinton is not a good dude or whatever, right? So it's like there's Democrats that are called this Epstein list. I feel like it's radioactive. I think that definitely Democrats are going to get touched. Prince fucking Andrew is on there. I just think that it's just this Epstein and this whole association with him is freaking radioactive, and I think that that's why it's never been put out there. I just think that Trump and all of them, because they're so that QAnon segment, and they were so obsessed with Hillary Clinton and his John Podesta thing and his Pizzagate crap, and it's like in thinking that in your brother's eye, and you're not looking at the plank in your eye, that's the Republican Party, and that's what they fucked up with this Epstein list. So I feel like it has been used because it's radioactive. I feel like it's damaging for everybody.
I don't think it's just that he embarrassed people. What Trump did was buck Elon. And Elon is part of that little circle with Peter Thiel and J.D. Vance. He's in that ilk of people. They've used Trump to get that spot, to get the presidency of the United States. And then Trump said, well, fuck it now. You're not going to get what you want from me. I'm going to get, oh yeah, he bought that seat. But Trump can use that seat against him. And when Trump came out and said, oh, maybe I should think about, whether I can deport him. I said that. Yes, he can do it if he wanted to. He can find a reason. He can find a way. This is Trump's domain right now. And
maybe that's what J.D. Vance did, went to tell Murdoch, you go with the story, fuck Trump. What he said. You go with the story.
It's some palace intrigue.
Yeah, I definitely believe that it could be something like that because to answer like Lisa's question about like you have to think these aren't new documents. Like these things literally have been around, and I don't know who they is. That's why it's like we talk about like sort of like the sort of the hand behind the power or whatever, but it's like the black hand, however you want to call it. We don't know, but this stuff is somebody, the one from the Southern District in New York, and I think we also read the California. So we read those two filings, but that got out. But I'm saying a lot of stuff we just hadn't seen until now. It's been like a deluge over like this past weekend was crazy how much stuff came out. So I'm just saying it's somebody, and even for Rupert Murdoch, who like got Trump elected. If you go back and like watch the stuff about how the whole thing went down. In 2016 or whatever, just how the whole thing went down, and like how Rupert Murdoch with like Fox and with like the New York Post and with all this stuff, but for him to use like the Wall Street Journal, one of those reputable publications, and come out with this letter, to me it just looks like the writing's on the wall basically, because they really could have been dropped this stuff at any point in time on Trump to get rid of Trump. They've always sort of protected him, and now they're not.
All right, somebody else speak. Anthony.
Hey, Gemini, how you doing? I'm here.
That wasn't Gemini that said hey to you. That was Deborah.
I didn't say anybody's name. I said, hey, how you doing? I'm here. That's all I said. I didn't say Jack.
Did you? I'm sorry.
Nah, listen, man. Michael, he tells an entertaining tale. This is purely bullshit. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm thoroughly entertained, and I appreciate him for it.
Okay, so let's start right here, Anthony. Hold on, because you sound different already from early this morning. Let's start with the Obama.
Oh shit!
Let's start right there.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Because you at a different place with that last night, or early this morning. So let's start right there.
Okay, let's start right there. You're a Gemini chill, bro. Let's start right there. Let's make that ground zero. So if that's where we start now, right? Just to be clear, isn't a scenario in my head where I see Barack Obama getting arrested.
So what's
You
up
guys
with Kim Bundy?
disagree with me.
Why is she? I'm not disagreeing with. I'm just asking questions because I see things differently. There is no okay. If you go put yourself out there like this with Pam Bundy on every freaking news station Sunday night, now this morning, talking about treason. What was the word she used? Sedition and treason and just whatever. I got this, all these papers and blowing it all up and whatever that she said she's going to release more. I don't understand why we figure they would put themselves out there.
Lisa,
like
I really
this.
want to respond to you because
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
No
Go ahead.
problem.
I'll finish.
So Lisa, like you asked a $1 billion question. All these other administrations had access to these documents regarding Epstein. Why didn't anybody else come at it? You're gonna make up some whole Steele dossier out of whole cloth and not come with
Jump back
Epstein?
to Epstein. We were talking about Obama.
No, I'm gonna tie it all back together. All right. The reason the Obama thing is a distraction, right? In circus. It's really about this Epstein thing. Yo, like Trump can't release the Epstein shit. This is above even his pay grade. He's limited in what he can do at length in real time. He said, "Yo, this is worse than Watergate," is what Patrick Bet-David said at the time. But they didn't have the proof. Bonnie's coming with smoking guns, and they're like, "Yo, now's the time to unleash the dragon because it's a good time to distract." They showed a picture of Chelsea Clinton's wedding. You know who was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding? Maxwell chick, Ghislaine, however you pronounce her name. She's at their kid's wedding. Yo, like the tentacles of this dude Epstein, they go deep. It goes far and it goes wide. It's not, they all up in this shit.
He's friends with Donald's wife as well.
As well. All right, cool. So, listen, ultimately, I think there's things that the president can do and there's shit that he can't do. And I want you to know this.
Can he put out an AI video of wrestling Obama? Can he put that out? Can he put that out? Anthony.
Deborah, just chill for a second. Who said that? Just give me 1 second, Deborah, please.
You all over the place. You went from Epstein back to
Deborah, I think that there's people here that's following the thread of logic that I have.
Go ahead.
I think there are multiple people following it.
Right.
So it's all good. And I'm happy.
You had the imposter syndrome. I just go with that.
All right, I'm just going to mute up. You got it.
So I just
Jay, you hear this?
Before y'all go, I just want to say real quick, because Anthony said I was talking bullshit, so everything I'm talking is like it's from a lot of different verified sources, like some of his opinion. But I would just say that what Anthony just did, it corroborated what I was saying as far as with the list being tied. I don't know which part of my submission offended Anthony, but Anthony, my bad.
You didn't offend me at all, Michael. I got no problem with you. You're a good dude, Michael. God bless you.
Anthony, God bless you. I wish you nothing but the best, my brother. But I do have a question for you, right? Do you feel that
I'm
positive energy before I even let with it?
F you, Gemini.
So
in slow motion.
I just want to know if you feel like it's very presidential, for him to put out an AI video of another president, former president.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And so,
Thank you, Gemini. A man had to ask the question. Thank you.
Deborah, I didn't even know that he put out an AI video.
Okay, then you
Gemini asked me a question
when I asked the question, but thanks, Gemini.
No.
You don't have to ask the
You didn't give me any context. Gemini said.
You didn't know, right? You know everything else going on, but you didn't know that. You so full of shit.
No.
You a
Deborah, I don't know why you. Okay.
Cause I can. That's why I said it.
I come out with my.
And you knew about it. Because you didn't know nothing about it. And you didn't know nothing
about the AI video.
But you know everything, but you didn't know that. Okay.
I don't know what
to figure out why they trying to bring Obama up at all and anything. Like, I just really don't get that part. Like, what the fuck?
And what he did was try to deflect.
How
you know about it? They've been playing all day.
No, but I'm saying, how
hilarious. Like,
Obama so
Obama is a topic right now. It's been explained. It's obvious. Michael's actually right about that.
Because he's trying to deflect. That's what
it's a distraction. That's it. You don't care. It ain't rocket science.
That's the problem. They just
I'm not offended. Are y'all not offended by that? Like,
no, they're not offended. Because it's a distraction.
You're not offended, Black Magnet?
Dark's trying to get in too whenever you're done.
Brooklyn, I stated last night, right?
But that's not even it, though, Anthony. What I'm saying is, that's not gonna happen, right? So we could just say that that's not gonna happen.
That's what I said. Lisa doesn't believe me, though. Lisa thinks it's about to go down.
I can speak for myself.
Lisa, I'm saying it's not about what you said. It's not about what you said. I didn't mean to offend you, Lisa. I was just saying it's not about what you said. I hate that he brought you up in the first place.
I don't know.
Because it wasn't even that serious.
I just brought it up to say that Lisa believes that there's a legitimate threat that Barack Obama is going to get arrested. It's not disrespecting anybody. I don't think Lisa took it as disrespect.
No, I did not. I didn't take it. But Brooklyn, go ahead and finish your thing out because I got
the whole MLK thing too. Like as a black man who is, super MAGA, you're not offended in no kind of way?
Okay, Brooklyn, I'm a human being, all right? And as it relates to, I'm not extra offended about them even.
Okay,
Brooklyn, I'm sorry that, I'm answering the question the way I see fit.
I'm just saying,
Brooklyn, listen. Yeah, so as I was saying, as it relates to Martin Luther King, they were going to release the files. This shit was coming. There's books written about this. This is no surprise to anybody that's actually been following the bouncing ball. This is not even like real news.
The fact that
shit that everybody already knew.
Yeah, you're right. And the fact that you won't be disgusted with Trump until Barack is arrested. Like that's real.
That's not gonna happen.
Because you ought to be offended that a president put the AI out. It would be different if it was, a supporter or something.
I don't know anything about
this
the AI.
This was the president. Yeah, you know about it. But
Deborah, I
don't know. Anthony has been out all day. You keep up with the news.
Deborah, I didn't. Deborah.
Okay. Barack being arrested, knocked down to his knees.
What Deborah saying? Is that accurate, Gemini? Or did somebody else put it out?
That's actually accurate. He put it out.
Well, who put it out? Who was the originator of the video, Gemini?
Trump posted it.
Was it already posted and he reposted it?
I don't know if it was reposted.
She said that he created it. That's what Deborah said, Gemini. Words matter.
I didn't use the word create because he can't create shit. No, I don't think he's capable of making an AI video. That's correct. I know he didn't make it. But that's what you want to argue on about?
Deborah,
you can have it. That's the point. If that's the point of contention for Anthony doing shit. You guys
argue semantics because he already know what he's doing.
I'm just exposing it for what it is. I'm not.
Whether he originated, it was an original tweet, or he retweeted, the shit was fucked up. Period, and that's all it should matter. But you won't say that. Just like, the only way I already know at the end of the day,
Barack is not going to be arrested at the end of the day. We already know that.
Right. So the fact that you won't Barack get arrested is
very abusive.
I'm not being abusive. I'm actually being calm.
We're talking about you.
But when I'm saying, okay.
What I'm saying is the fact that it's going to take for Obama to be arrested for you to condemn Trump for the bullshit that he's doing is really a real way out.
Plenty last night. Plenty.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Lisa.
Still defends his pedophilia.
Can I give a quick disclaimer before like either Doc or Lisa? All I want to say is that I apologize to the stage when I say like I don't know when I'm talking about like girls, underage girls, it makes me feel skeevy talking about it. So I get mixed up in the way that I say it sometimes. I'm just saying what it is sometimes.
It tastes a lot better pickled, but we're gonna get
right. Malik said that was years ago when Obama was president. No matter how fucking MAGA, all these MAGA idiots fucking growl at his fucking every word, it's not gonna matter. He's to be president for the day that he dies. Big embarrassment. So whether you like it or not. So yeah, fuck that nigga Trump. Fuck him.
Right? The MAGAs all got tired
was missing the
of defending pedophilia. And so now they want to talk about something. They claim that this is treason when there is no earthly definition of treason than anything that Obama did with Paul. Because people have to realize that you need to have a country that we are at war with in order to then plot.
I just wanted to say this one thing. If I was a MAGA supporter, I would be offended at the fact that he know that y'all stupid. He's telling y'all every move that y'all stupid as fuck. Because if for y'all to fall for the shit that he say and do, he know that y'all dumb. He placating to y'all his audience. Y'all should be offended at the fact that man plays in y'all face. But when we call you dumb, don't be mad, because he is too. Thank you. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. It's that's what we could all just with. That these folks are running from defending pedophilia. All of the MAGAs. All of them. All of them. So just remember, anytime they say, yeah, but, Obama this and yeah, but at least I don't defend pedophilia. And we can just rest on that. Almost everybody in this room can rest on that. Not all of us on stage can rest on that, but almost all of us on stage can rest in that we never defend pedophilia. Think about that.
Right, because a Democrat would kick one of their own out of the way if they were caught up in some shit like that. They gone before they get it out in the news. Good.
Online MAGAs.
Didn't Obama nominate some former head of NAMBLA to some position in, to lead some kind of office?
Where are we going?
Because Democrats stand on business.
I'm just saying, did he do it? And if he did, then who's the guy? As the former head of NAMBLA. See, here's the thing.
Not have done it because
hold on. Here's the thing. You play them tactics that Trump played with you on people that know better. That shit don't work on us, Anthony. It don't work on us if we know better. You understand? We're gonna do the digging. We're gonna Google. We're gonna go to the library. We're gonna do the research, right? You don't do that. So Trump can tell you anything and you're gonna run with it. You can't say them things to us and think that we're gonna run with it. Because I want to know, now that you said it, did he nominate somebody from NAMBLA? Tell me who it is since you know so much. Can you tell me that? No. Because you're trying to pull a Trump move on people that's smarter than you and Trump. That's what
Gemini. My reply was to a narrative. There was a direct correlation between what he said and what my reply was. He was not just talking about Trump. He keeps on repeating himself. Listen, man. You notice I'm not fighting with nobody. I'm not cursing nobody. Raising my voice. I'm just completely just chill mode. I'm chilling. Knock yourselves out. This is hilarious. I'm really enjoying the show, man. Lisa, I'm happy to engage with you, Lisa.
Anthony, respectfully, you are the show right now.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. And you're brilliant. I know because you use Google and you go to the library, Brooklyn. You use Google and you go to the library, Brooklyn. So you're brilliant. God bless you, Brooklyn.
There's a lot of other thing that says this for potential pedophilia. That makes me believe like they might have the ability to not let this pass them. But then again, just because they let go of that case doesn't mean that
They would have, if he hadn't got caught, if that man had told on him, the whistleblower, he would have got away with it.
Well, yeah, he would have. But see, the thing is that is a sign
That whistleblower was trying to say.
So, based on this conversation right now, this is nuts. But Gary,
Oh, Anthony knows the pedophilia.
it's all good. Yo, Lisa, you said that you had a different idea as it relates to the
What's the definition? What's the definition?
Why? No, I'm not getting into all of that, man. Look, she got Google and she goes to the library.
But why say? Here's the thing. I'm being an adult right now, which some of you niggas don't know how to do, right? Why
I'm being an adult right now. Some of you niggas don't know how to do that. Y'all don't know how to do that. I'm being an adult right now. And by calling you
You said white bitches. You said
I used the B word that I never used.
Oh my God, Anthony, come on, you used it first though. I used it. I used it.
Hey y'all, it's okay.
Now it's gonna be Anthony used the B word.
I don't get up in arms about the B word.
Anthony, but you're smarter than that. So why would you do that?
I never said the B word, Sandra.
It's okay.
That's what I heard. I heard that about me in Brooklyn and you said bitching, so I called your wife a bitch. Now.
It's okay. Whatever the case, man.
I never said the B word. I don't know, Deborah, like, you calling my wife a B?
Okay, you didn't use it. You didn't use it. I didn't either. I didn't say that.
The replays are on. I never said the B word.
What I'm saying is, y'all don't know how to, like, y'all be having fucking childhood, like, elementary conversations when it comes to politics. This shit is weird, for real. Like, it's like the least articulate, and like
it's from Chicago.
Weird. That's all.
Anthony very articulate.
The least articulate.
She's very articulate.
You use Google and you go to the library.
Anthony.
Just stop. Circus. I don't care. All the shots she wants to do. Just stop, Sandra.
I'm just asking you to stop right now. I'm just asking you to stop right now.
No problem. Out of respect for you, Sandra,
Yeah, go ahead, Scotty.
I respect you too, Anthony. So I'm just saying, please just stop.
I'm done. I'm not engaging anymore, Sandra. I'm not going to engage with that situation anymore.
Thank you.
And that's out of respect for you.
Brooklyn and Sandra, and good evening to beautiful
Everybody.
and all the pluses out there. Shout out to you for keeping Clubhouse alive. Thank you. Some others beautiful on the Pacific Coast right now.